on the news. To see these kids missing just sickens my mood. Now I got an attitude. You think I won't battle fool? I will slap the fuck out of you. Maybe I am a radical. Charged up with a matador. You don't love the kids, why do you got them for? I tell the truth, how they got out the door. These cases I can't ignore. You damn right I want your face on the floor. We lacking info pimping, I'ma need more. See, it's the truth that we want. You're supposed to love your kid, the truth is you don't. Somebody bring them parents up to the front. Them kids been missing for months. Damn right I'm mad, pimp, I done had enough. Oh, my business, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I might just tear this shit up. Now we got summer, we got horse, and we got orange. Like the parents, they don't care. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? All of the YouTubers pursuing, they do more than what you doing. Now how the fuck you gonna influence? Your reputation done been ruined. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Remember that kid they left in the car? Sydney Deal, she had a bum for a father, and it was Sardis Navarre. Just break the window, but he wouldn't even bother. He making kids, now that's really a problem. What about that fella Kawan? The lady picked him up was a mom. Now Kawan was a friend with a son. I can't believe what they done. They found his body in the sugar cane field. Now his parents gotta shed some real tears. This ain't how the fuck we supposed to live. If you got a kid, show them that you love them. Cause they leaving on the dub, protect them. Gotta keep them covered. Cause there's some evil motherfuckers plotting, waiting just to touch them. Don't you think this shit is nuts? They taking kids out by the dozen. It's so many living in your city limits. If you think that they offended, that mean you think this again. It only take a single minute. Evaluate the way you live. This was a blessing you was given. It's gonna hit you different if your child just end up missing. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit.
I brought my creativity to YouTube in May of 2021. And the slideshow that you've seen it highlights every case that I've touched, every story I've tried to tell and shine a light on. That is not me gloating. That is me saying, why the hell is the list so big? Now, all of that didn't happen in 2021. Those were just all the stories I shined my light on because they caught my attention. They moved my heart. But why do I have a year's worth of stories in only 7 months? And a to-do list a mile long? If only I had more months in the year. It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. I didn't set out to make a true crime channel, and I don't intend to become that. It's just that this channel is about things that I admire, things I represent, things that I wish that more people at least knew about. That was the whole and only concept. And in doing that, I guess even I've had to realize, and I knew I was true crime, but I guess I'm a lot more true crime than I realized. So it dominates the channel. But it's not the only thing you have seen or will see here. I won't say that. But you will see it, and a lot of it. And I don't share it for fun and entertainment. I don't. That might be what the fair use says, but I don't share it for entertainment purposes only. I don't want to get emotional. And this is not about me. It's about what this channel has made me truly realize. You know, the world is hurting. And people need help. So, of December, we're going to dry our eyes and we're going to use our voices. And I would like to share with you, reshare with you, as many of the stories as I can that I have shared during this year. I pray that in the coming year, these families will have justice and peace. And to help them find it, I only ask that you click that button that says share. If you care about these people, do what you can to help them. That's all I'm doing. So look out for it. All month long, every single day. We started with Echo Lloyd, and I don't know what the next will be. I'll pull from my playlist and I'll pull from my heart. One last shot at it in 2021. Maybe even get justice. Well, that's all I got. I'll see you in the comments and every day in December. Hey, hey, beautiful people. Can I please get a mic check? Put a 1 in the chat, please, if you can hear me okay. I know we have about a 10-second delay from StreamYard to YouTube, so I got to wait for those ones. All right, thank y'all. Hello, everybody. Let me try to greet as many people as I can. I see the crew is in the house. Thank you, moderators, for showing up and showing out for me. Obsidian, Leslie, Tracy, Heather. Sheesh. Randy's in the house. Marley's in the house. I saw somebody else. Shandy is in the house. Shandy, we'll talk about the wrenches. Well, I said anybody that didn't email me and confirm with me that everything you heard in the moderator video was cool for you, then I would just take the wrench and assume that you were chilling. So if you didn't email me, then that's probably why. But just we'll talk about it. It's not a big deal, y'all. We can fix it. We just got to make sure we're up for the challenge. But we will talk about that later. Hello, Elizabeth Lander. Hello, everybody. Please, everybody, hit that thumbs up right now. Let them know we are here. We're talking about awareness and justice, and we need that support. Share it out. I know Facebook came back up. I know y'all so happy. Share it out, please. And I know I don't talk about this button ever, actually, but there is a super chat button. If you should use it tonight, I will be donating that money to the reward fund for Gregory. So just know that in advance. Everything will go to the family if you use that button tonight. And I encourage you, if you are able, please do, because they could use the assistance. The higher the reward fund, the higher the chances somebody might just speak up. Y'all know how this goes. So support, that's free. Hit the like, share it out. I'm asking everybody, share it somewhere, especially the moderators. Share it somewhere for me, okay? Let's get a wildfire going. And it doesn't matter if we don't pack the house. We know the replays will be watched, but that always helps. All right, I'm scrolling back down. Shandy, I just got... Oh, okay. And I know, baby. I know you're dealing with health issues, too. That's why I wanted everybody to reach out to me and let me know that, it would work for them as well. So I will take care of that for you, Shandy. Don't worry about it. As soon as I get my hands free and I get our guests greeted and I have a moment behind the scenes, I'll go in there and take care of that. Same thing, Randy. If you listen to the moderator video and you're interested, then you let me know, because I told you I had you on my list as well. So, moderators, you guys already know how this goes. Nobody disrespects the panel. No cuckoo birds or, weirdos in the chat room. If anything gets weird, just kick them out. We don't time out. We don't debate. What else? I think that's about it. Everything is on the screen here. I'm just going to read this to you guys. Gregory was murdered in East St. Louis, Illinois on May 29, 2020. The suspects are still at large. Gregory's life matters. Tonight we have a special guest. Actually, we have two. We're supposed to have one more. We have Miss Latatia. I always want to say Latatia. I'm sorry. You pronounce it Latasha, I'm pretty sure, and I'll have her clarify it for me. This is Gregory's mother, and I don't want to butcher his auntie's name. Maybe Denny. Y'all get me with these names over here. And Paul Jr. That's going to be Latasha's other son. So the three of them will be with us tonight talking about Gregory and the injustice. And you guys know what we do. Show them some love. I'm going to go ahead and bring them up. Thank you so much, Leslie. That is $10 towards Gregory's Crime Stoppers Reward Fund. We sure do appreciate that. And I'm not going to have them wait until YouTube deposits. I will be giving them this money ASAP. So anyone who donates, please know that. All right, so we're going to bring up Miss Latasha Stewart. And oh, Lord, I'm just going to say Miss Wright because I'm not going to take the chance of saying her name wrong 2 times. And here we go. Did I say it right? Is it Latasha? Is
Yes,
that how
ma'am.
you?
It's Latasha.
I always want to just chop it up. Since the first time I saw your name, I'll be like Latatia. I'm so sorry. It's a pretty spelling. It's unique. And how do I say your sister's name?
Her name is Deanie.
Deanie. Okay.
Deanie.
I think I might have said that. At least I might have been close. Deanie, come on in here. Miss Deanie Wright. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, can you all hear me?
Say something
She's
else. Let me try. Deanie, say something else. Let me see if I
Yes,
can.
yes, I can hear you. We're at an airport, actually, kind of in limbo. Flight was delayed, so I'm keeping it muted so you don't get that background
Okay,
noise.
gotcha. Okay. No worries. No worries. Just pop in here whenever you feel the need.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna
yes,
let her say. I want to let her say a few words, just in case she have to leave, and then I'll.
okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. So I'll mute out and then Deanie, go ahead. You take the floor.
Well, first of all, I would really and truly like to thank you on behalf of our family for using your platform in order to bring awareness. We know that this is a painful topic to discuss all the way around, but we really appreciate the fact that you are using your platform and allowing us to let everyone know a little bit about my nephew, my sister's son, and just the loving and kind person that he was. Again, this was a tragic incident, and it's definitely something that we as a community need to get more involved in. It's unfortunate when it's in your family, and now you're kind of faced with the fact that you have to act and do something. But I think if we as a community are more proactive in holding people accountable and being involved with literally with the politics and with the people that are actually making these decisions, it will be better for everyone in the long run. So again, I really want to thank you for allowing us to take this time and tell you about our wonderful nephew and son and brother for Paul Jr. But just thank you so much. I'm going to mute again and hand it back over to my sister. But if I can find another quiet spot, then I'll be able to talk again. I pray, because it's something that I know is near and dear to her, and that she's so super appreciative and grateful for this opportunity. And I really want to be there to support her. So I'll go ahead and turn it back over. And again, thank everyone, all the moderators, everyone that's donating. You have no idea what this means to our family. Thank you so much.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. Honest to goodness. I'm glad that she ran up on my little group in Facebook. God works in mysterious ways. He brought us together, and here we are, and now we're on this journey together. So I'm glad that you came to support her. I know I could tell just from I've listened to every video that your sister has done, and I'm talking about some breakdowns. It's like I feel like I know Gregory a little bit myself, and I haven't even heard the whole story. I just feel the pain that you guys are going through. So it's my pleasure. I'm happy that I can help. Sincerely. Latasha, Lord have mercy. Where do we begin? Do you want to tell us about Gregory?
Well, Gregory, he was my youngest son. Um, he was very ambitious, hardworking young man. He loved his family dearly. Uh, no one was a stranger to him, because if he came across a stranger, he would help them out to the best of his ability. And he helped a lot of people. My son, he was an entrepreneur. He had his own music production, which was 1504 GMF. And he was being scouted by Def Jam Comedy. He loved his family. Uh, he thought he had a lot of friends. Um, like I say, it was nothing that he wouldn't do for anyone. I mean, and we just really, really miss him dearly. And the reason, one of the reasons that I keep advocating and seeking justice and answers and closures is because my son, our son rather, at this time, my husband, he's not able to attend the interview um, because it's too emotional for him. But like I say, my son, we're a very close knit family. I always taught my children pull together and stick together. Because at the end of the day, one day me and your dad was going to be gone. And y'all would have y'all three together. You have to pull together. Never in my wildest dreams could I even imagine losing my son. And especially to gun violence, senseless gun violence. And he know, like I say, the type of mother that he has. He knows, and I know he heard me speak to him that last moment. And I say, Hakeem, that's his nickname. I'ma love you. But I still had no idea that my son was going to pass. And I can know that in his last breaths, he wasn't around us. He heard my voice. He knew we were there at the hospital, the first hospital, when they was bringing him out. And then he also knows the type of mother he has. He knows that I'm going to fight and advocate and seek justice. I'm not the type of person to give up. And I'm going to get to the bottom. And with God's help, we're going to get justice. Jehovah's going to reveal the truth. And he is slowly revealing it in his time frame. But I know that God is going to give us justice for my baby. And I fight so hard and keep my son's name out here. Put up billboards. We pass out flyers. We put them on all the poles all throughout the community. We put them in people's windshields. We have T-shirts made. We have masks made with Justice for Gregory with his picture. So it's to keep him out there.
Right.
One day, I know it's going to reach the right person, spiritually, or someone that knows. And they're going to get tired of walking around with this deep, dark secret. And they're going to come forward, not only with information, but with statements. Because we need statements. Right. And that's what I'm asking for. People to come forward with information and written or oral, or, statements with the detectives.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Which the detectives is the Illinois State Police, or they can contact the Crime Stoppers and remain anonymous. And like I say, this has just been, it's horrific. It's pain. It's really painful. Not only losing our son, but to the senseless gun violence, but not having anyone in custody. And these people, they need to be brought to justice. They need to be held accountable for murdering my son. That's all we are begging and asking people now to help us so that we can get some type of closure. And we can see these people face to face and see that they was charged, arrested and charged. Right. And then we can start our healing process. But it's a turmoil. That's when you up here and you're trying to figure it out. Okay, when these people are not in custody yet. And when I relive my son pain, it's very painful. When I pick up the newspaper, I cut my TV on and stuff. I think about other families. I think about other parents, other family members that lost their children due to this senseless gun violence. And we must come together as a community and stand up. And let's show these criminals, we're not going to tolerate it. You're not coming in our neighborhoods and stuff and continue doing this. Because if you
Right.
decide to come into this particular neighborhood, guess what? We're going to band together and we're going to do the right thing. And you
Right.
will be turned over to the criminal
Yeah.
system where you
Right.
belong. And then when they
Right.
see this stuff, they'll stop.
Right.
And, I was just speaking to someone today. We need to pull together also in the community, some of us parents and family members that lost our loved ones, and rally, go up to the courthouse, go to the prosecutor, and stand up outside or to the Capitol in Springfield, Illinois, and have our voices heard. These laws need to be changed because they're geared so much toward the criminal instead of the victims and their families.
You're
You
so
know,
right.
if they know who did it, that should be enough information. It shouldn't matter if they don't have a statement
A
yet
statement. Yeah.
because people are afraid. Some people are afraid to give statements,
Right.
but it should be enough. And the prosecutors need to, stop, keep pushing and pushing for the detectives to get more and more and more information.
Right.
Because if they never get a verbal statement, it's not admissible in court, and therefore, you'll never, the person will never be arrested. So they need to make changes, and all over, but especially in Illinois. And we need to start right here in East St. Louis, in St. Clair County, you know, and pull together and make our voices heard. And let's try to get some changes in the legislation in Illinois
Right.
because it's so sad. It's so sad.
It is sad out there.
Even a child, they sleeping in their house and a gun go through the window and kill them. The people, they don't even want to come forward and tell the truth. I mean, I just can't imagine for the life of me, why do these people want to protect these murderers? Why? Today it's my family, and tomorrow it could be their families.
Easily.
But like I say, I pray and I trust in God. And the main thing that keep me going is the fact that I know for a fact I will be reunited with my son in paradise. And I do know that these people that's responsible for murdering my son, they will have to answer to God on Judgment Day. So if they didn't get charged, if we don't get justice on this end, we will get justice, because I know God is going to give us justice, because they will not get away with murdering my son or anyone else's children or family members.
Right.
But like I said, it's
Thank
very
God for
hard. People say you're so strong, but I'm not. I'm a little strong, but I'm not strong. I have my
Yeah.
breakdowns and my meltdowns and stuff too. Even when I'm out there putting on flyers and stuff, it hurts. But I have to do it, because being a mother, if I don't do it, who's going to do it?
Right. Right. Nobody. We know not the cops. We've seen enough stories to know that. You have to put that brave face on. I know it. Are you
Like I
getting
said,
any support in that area? When you said the
from, like,
community needs to rally together and everything, is anybody really trying to do that in East St. Louis?
well, it's a few people. I mean, I have. Okay, I'm gonna say, I have a huge support system.
Okay.
I do,
Okay.
because I've joined a lot of groups, organizations. I communicate with at least about, I would say, 3 of the individuals whose children have been murdered. But when it comes down to the leaders in East St. Louis, the truth is no. When I say leaders,
Right.
I mean,
You're right.
you don't get, they're not here. And what I'm saying it straight from my heart and from the way they treated me. They made me feel like I was nobody really, and they didn't try to help me with when I was doing my rallies, my marches, like anything. They never came out of anything, and I feel like that was terrible.
Yeah.
They had a big march in East St. Louis called "Stop the Violence in East St. Louis." I attended it, but the people that the people, the leaders were not there, not even one.
Wow.
You know,
Mm.
uh, I do admire though the chief of police in East St. Louis because he showed me a lot of support. He came to my rallies. He gave me a escort and stuff. And when he told me he's going to be there, he shows up. You know, but the
Oh,
rest
that's
of them
good.
they let me down from the mayor on down. From the mayor, the Illinois House of Representative lady, and the
No,
precinct manager of that area.
they're just
All
brushing
he
it
could
off.
tell me when I handed him the flyer, he was amazed that I knew his name was, oh, when I talked to some of the guys in the neighborhood, the bullet wasn't meant for your son. You know, telling me certain people's untouchable and all this and that. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to stop. I don't care. I'm going to keep seeking and fighting
Mm-mm.
until I obtain justice or until I leave here for my son. I'm not going to stop.
Right.
And like I say, God has
Period.
opened a lot of doors for me, a lot of doors for me and my family since this happened. I met a lot of people. I've gotten my son's story all the way out to Canada.
Nice.
You
It's gonna
know,
get further than that.
and,
It's gonna
and,
get
and I
all the
just
way
want
out.
it out there. I want it
Yeah.
all the way out as far as I can get it because I want shit, my dog. I want everybody to know who Gregory Stewart is, where he was murdered, the address, and the date.
Right.
So that way, these people, these perpetrators, they won't be able to hide anywhere. Even somebody hit
Right.
Gregory Stewart, one day somebody, the right person, gonna hear it and they gonna come forward with enough to
Right.
help us to obtain justice and close my son's case. And then once we do that, then we can start, like I said, our healing process.
Right.
But until then,
Right.
it's really sad. My son, I listen to a lot of his music now. I mean, I really listen to it. I know all the songs by heart. Seem like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But God has really brought my whole family. We're He's healing us from that horrible night. Because now I just have a lot of memories and stuff. And it's sad though. I
Yeah.
can't hold my son. I can't touch him. I can't tell him I love him. I mean, I talk to him and I hear him in my head, you
Right.
know, but it's still not enough. But I do have the hope and I pray and I know that one day my son was tall, I'll be leap up in his arms and hug him and say, "Hey, baby, we together again."
Right.
And I'm looking forward to that day. And that's the only thing, like I say, in prayer and talking and knowing that I'm getting his story out.
Right.
And it's going to eventually lead to the rest of these people. That's the
Right.
only thing that's keeping me going. If I couldn't do that, I don't know. I'd probably be in the crazy house somewhere.
Right. That's your strength. I get it. I totally get it. I can't. My son is 13 and I only have one. So these stories like this, ugh, as a boy mom, I can't imagine. I mean, I just can't imagine. I literally, my brain just says, nope, we're not going there. We're not going to think about a day where he's not here. So, Natasha, I really, really, really feel for you right now. And I want to help. I'm not a miracle worker, and Lord knows I'm not the biggest channel on YouTube, but I promise to God I'll tell your story over and over and over again and get as many people as I can to listen to it, if I can't do nothing else. And I know that don't bring him back, but it gets justice. And once you have that, like you said, you can try to find some sort of comfort. Maybe never even closure, but at least you can start your healing process, like you said.
Yeah.
So I really can't imagine.
And I have like 3 pictures that I brought in here. One is the flyer that we have all throughout the city, and I just want to put them up so people can see them. And if
Okay.
anyone in the area is looking, it might be somebody new or whatever. But like I say, just ask everybody to please share.
Yeah.
And I have a page on Facebook. It's called
Yeah.
Justice, the number 4 Gregory Stewart, and he's a public figure. And
Y'all will
just
find that the name of that group is in my description for this video. You guys, you can find it there too.
Yeah. And then he also has his YouTube page, which I started, called Justice for Gregory Stewart. You know, and if you just share,
Moderators, can we drop the link for Gregory's YouTube group? Can we do that now, please? They'll find it. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't mean to keep interrupting you. I just want to make sure we're working together and make this information get out there as you tell us about it. Crime Stoppers, we got the phone number. I have a link. I'll send it to you, moderators. I have a link that she sent me earlier for that too. Go ahead with your pictures.
And would you let everyone know, that if you donate anything to Gregory Stewart under the Crime Stoppers link, it's a section, and you have to put in instructions and put, please donate this to Gregory Stewart's account or fund. And also, if you made a money order, just put in a little memo part, please donate to Gregory Stewart, or you can put Justice for Gregory Stewart, because they know. But if you don't put his name, then it'll just go into the plain Crime Stoppers. But we want it to go into his Crime Stoppers fund in order to help to increase his reward. And hopefully, it's sad, but money talks. And hopefully, once I can get his fund up to where I want it at, or almost there, then the person that's working with me with Crime Stoppers, she's going to create a new flyer for me, and it's going to actually have the amount of his reward. And I'm praying that this will be an incentive for these people to come on forward.
Yeah, I saw. Did I see it was at about 7, or did I see old information?
It's probably about 8,000 now.
Okay. Because I wanted to put it into the title of the video too, in case anybody sees it. I mean, it is sad, but it money talks. We got a little girl missing from Tennessee, our baby Summer Wells. You guys know about her. The reward is at about, what is it, y'all? 30. Leslie, you're awesome. Thank you so much. The reward is up to about 30,000 or so, 35, somewhere in there, but nobody's talking yet. Like, it's really not even enough, and we know it. It's sad to say, but we know it's a lot of money, but it ain't really enough to make them talk yet. And it don't make no sense that it's got to be like that, but it is. Thank you, Leslie.
And I want to donate to this also, so I need you to tell me, so I already do it through the Crime Stoppers, but I wanted to do it with you too, I guess.
It would be the same difference, because I'm just going to turn around and put it into Crime Stoppers.
Okay.
For you. So that's all. They're just sending it directly to me, save them some steps, and then I'm going to put it right in there for you.
And I would like to thank everyone for their donations and stuff, prayers and support, and just ask that you keep our family in your prayers, because as you pray in multiple numbers, our prayers should be answered. And I pray. That's all our family. We need prayers for justice, and prayers for God, Jehovah, prayers for Jehovah to comfort us and give us the strength so that we can continue on. So I would like to share, and I thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. But I would like to share my son a couple of his pictures.
Okay, let me maximize your screen so we can get that full screen of the pictures. There we go.
So this, I don't know. Okay.
There you go. Now it's in the middle.
This right here, which I have a glare from the light, but this is his flyer. It's throughout St. Clair County, and it's all over social media. I like to use this picture, not specifically this flyer, but the picture inside of the heart. In that way, it's one picture, so people can focus, and when they see that picture, they know that that's Gregory Stewart.
Right.
But as you can see, it tells you that Gregory Stewart was murdered. I always, no matter what I do, I always put the date and the address where he was murdered.
Okay.
In his name. But this is his flyer right here. And like I
Very
said,
nice.
it's all over St. Clair County. And this also lets you know it has the Crime Stopper number on it. And if you contact Crime Stoppers, you can remain anonymous. I know for a fact.
Hmm.
And if it leads to an arrest, you'll get the reward money that's out there.
Right.
Or, or you can contact the Illinois State Police. But like I said, we're asking for information and statements because information alone does not stand up in court. If you give that
Right.
written or that oral statement, then they can go ahead on and make their arrest.
And you can do that anonymously. So write a note, drop it off, and do the right thing.
Yes, ma'am. And I don't think this is working too good, but this is another picture of my son right here, Gregory.
He's a very handsome guy.
And like I said, he was so full of life. He was he loved his family. And if he considered you a friend, you had a real friend for life. And
Mm.
that's why I really can't understand either why all these people my son helped, all these people, my son was very
Nobody.
well known,
Right.
why they won't come forward and give these statements and help get the arrest of the people that's responsible for murdering him.
It don't make
You
sense.
know,
Not one
and
person.
that's it. Well, they might talk, but we need the statements. That's why we
Statement.
need
Right.
statements now.
Right.
Statements. I mean, they
Right.
give enough information. I'm gonna say it's out there. Yeah.
Okay.
But the point is,
Okay.
we need
They can't
statements.
prosecute with that. Got it.
We need
Got it.
statements. They have to be willing to come and give a statement. And
Okay.
most people, they get afraid or what for whatever reason they don't want to
Right.
do that part. And
Well,
that's
I
not only
hope
it's not
they
only with
understand. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Latasha.
I was saying that's not only with my son murder, but it's all these murders. That's why these people are walking free because people don't come forward and give the statements. But that's what we need so that we can
Right.
solve these murders.
Right. I don't know how anybody could sleep at night knowing that they have that kind of information that could, really solve a crime, a murder of all things, and then not give up that information. Like, I really, let me ask you this, because I know, and you know what, chat, you guys are doing awesome. Because by now I would have expected somebody to ask the question, but I know they want to know and they want to understand, and you need to tell it because it goes along with that address and that date. Um, what happened? What happened to Gregory? Tell
What
us
happened
about
to
it.
my son? What
Yeah, tell
happened
us
to my
about.
son?
Can you tell us about that incident that day? I mean, were you at work? Did you get a call that he had just,
Well, I'm gonna tell you, due to it's an open investigation, I can't like
understood?
put the time
Understood.
frame, but I can say this: my
Whatever you
son,
feel comfortable with.
my son, and he wasn't called down there for no type of foolishness because he didn't know anything was even occurring at that incident. But the bullet was meant for somebody else, and
Like a
my son,
drive-by shooting or something.
huh?
Like a drive-by sort of thing.
No, one of his friends, they was all out in the yard just doing the guy thing, having a little drink,
Mm-hmm.
kicking it. The guy
Mm-hmm.
got one of his people calmed my son down there, and
Mm-hmm.
I know he knows exactly everything that happened, and he
Mm.
knows everything. I know, and but the point is, when my son came down there, nobody out there knew that this was going to occur. And so they
Right.
all was out in the yard just having the guys, you know, out there in the yard. And all of a sudden, the bullets rang out.
Mm.
But from everything, it wasn't even meant for my son. It was meant for
Right.
an individual that was out there.
Right.
I can't say no names or anything.
Understood. Yes. Yeah.
And that person knows who he is. He know my
Wow.
son took the bullet for him. My
Mm.
son didn't know. And then when my son found out what that person was down there doing, he, my son, from what we all told, he was like, I ain't got
Uh-huh.
time for this BS. I'm fixing to go back home to my family. As soon as when he got ready to leave, the bullets rang out, and
Some
there was
shooting.
a bunch of bullets, and anybody that was out there, whether it was me, you, or anybody, we could have got shot.
Right, right,
So,
right.
like, but like I said, the bullet was for intended for another person that was out there. Unfortunately, I wish no one wouldn't have got shot, but I especially
Right.
wish my son wouldn't have got shot.
Yeah, I
You know,
understand that.
so it wasn't no type of like argument or anything going on out there at that time.
Wow.
This other person just came out the blue. You know,
Just some weakling driving by, just shooting. That's crazy.
my
I
son
mean,
got shot.
bullets don't have no name on it. They can go, like you said, through the house, strike a kid, anybody,
That's what I'm saying.
elderly person.
And they so silly and coward. They shoot these guns and don't even know who they shooting at. They don't even know how to shoot a gun. If they did, they shoot their
Right,
target. Who they trying to
right,
shoot?
right.
But they don't. They
Don't
shoot
care.
innocent people. And it's so
Exactly.
sad. And
Yeah,
I had just
yeah.
talked to my son like
Oh my
30
God.
minutes before he got killed. I he,
Mm.
he had I had just talked to him, you know, and my son, he said, Mama, he said, I'll be by there. I was getting ready to have my Bible study like early. I can't see time frame, but anyhow, I was having my Bible study. So he said, I'll be by when your Bible study's over. So my Bible study was
Mhm,
over. I was a little tired, but I didn't
mhm,
see him right then. So he called me and he said, Mama, he said, I'm not going to come by tonight. You know, I had something for my son. He said, just leave it in the mailbox for me and I'll see you tomorrow. And he was going
mm,
by this guy that does his music, his producer,
mhm.
he does the videos and stuff for him.
Right,
And
right.
he said, I'll see you tomorrow. And I said,
Mm,
okay, how can I said, Mama, see you tomorrow. I said, I love you and I will see you tomorrow. And then the next thing, my husband,
mm.
his sister had a major stroke, so he went down to Georgia. My son died on a Thursday. He got shot Thursday and died. But my husband had just left and went out of town to check on his sister that Monday.
Okay.
So I got a call from my husband. I was getting ready for bed, and he was like, that's how I found out.
Wow.
Because the person down there, they had somebody call my husband in Georgia and tell him my son had got shot. So my
Jesus.
husband called me and he said, what you doing? But I figured he was like feeling me out, see if I knew. And I saw him
Mm,
just to get in my bed. And then he say, you know, they're trying to kill me down here. But, I like jokingly, I thought he was talking about, maybe some of his family members, down there agitating, bickering, or what, just aggravating them. But he was like, and that's when he knew, I guess, that I didn't know, you know. So
mm.
then he's told me my son had got shot. And that's how I found out. And and I went to this, I don't know, my man told me to go to that hospital. I went to that hospital. So we was outside because of the COVID, you couldn't come in. And I kept saying, I said, I saw an ambulance sitting there. I said, why y'all
Mm.
can't get my son? Get my son across the river to St. Louis. Because we live like in the country. That hospital,
Yeah.
they took Touche Hospital. It's like a clinic. It's they can't do anything. They don't have a trauma unit or
Yeah.
anything. So they
Yeah.
knew that they could not deal with my son's injury, and they kept my son there for about 3 hours. And I feel like they let my
Jesus.
son bleed to death. And then when
Wow.
they brought him out finally and put him in that same ambulance that was sitting there for 3 hours, and
Wow.
that's when I saw him and I said, my son sleep. I said, why my son sleep?
Mm,
And they
mm,
say
mm.
his eyes was closed. And they said he asked to go to sleep. He was in pain. And I said, he shouldn't be sleeping. And then they took him on. And when he got so he went across the river to St. Louis to SLU Hospital. And my son, according to the people when they told me when they called me in the little room, my son lived maybe 30 minutes. They had to give him like 5 liters or quarts or whatever it is of blood. That's a lot of blood. And then as soon as he
Unbelievable.
got on the operating table, he died. So I feel like
Unbelievable.
Touche Hospital is
Yeah.
liable also for my son's
Yeah.
death. They didn't shoot him, but they
Yeah.
finished killing my son. because
They let
they
him
denied
sit there.
they denied him the proper medical care, and they knew that they was not equipped to deal with a gunshot victim. And my son was sort of, I guess, critical. My son was, he should have been, it don't take but 10 minutes to get him across the river, and the ambulance was sitting there. They kept saying a helicopter was coming, but no helicopter never came, you know.
Wow.
And I just feel in my heart, it's, they're liable. They finished my son off.
Yeah, yeah,
And if
I
we would have
agree.
gone across the river, he would have had the opportunity to,
Yeah,
he would have probably lived.
I
Because he
would
went
feel
to
the
a very
same
good
way.
hospital trauma unit when he got over there, but they didn't have time. The 30 minutes, it wasn't enough time by the time they gave him blood and everything and got him on the operating table.
Well, how did they justify leaving him there for 3 hours in the
They,
first place?
they
What?
haven't, nobody,
Wow.
and I'm in the process now
Mm,
trying to deal with that now that I've got my
right.
son's story out and stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know,
It's a
but
lot.
it's very hard. Some of these lawyers in this area, they don't want to deal with the hospital situation. But like I said, I'm not going to stop because I feel like they're liable too. And then they shouldn't have put my son to sleep because he was a gunshot victim. And on top of that, it's just like when a baby bumped their head or child, they say don't let them go to sleep. So why did they put my child to sleep?
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
then I read the
Oof.
medical stuff. I'm not a doctor, but I Google every medicine. They gave my son a medicine and sort of put him like in a little slight coma or something. It says that's what it's used
Yes.
for. But like I say, I'm still seeking, you know,
Yeah.
attorneys. One, they
Yeah.
have to be licensed in Illinois, and they have to want to take the case. But these
Correct.
local lawyers, I think they're
Yeah.
afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's Illinois. Oh my God! Over and over again. That's Illinois.
And I mean, I'm
Man.
gonna put it. I mean, it might, I just feel like they took my son to hospital. That's kind of hospital. A lot of people go there. They don't have proper transportation to get to other hospitals and stuff. And most of them, unfortunately, they're let me see how I'm gonna say this. They're not only black, but they're most people that go there. They're like, I'm trying to think of the word. Lord, I can't
That's all
say it.
right. Take your time.
What do we call? Even like the Mexican and all of us, what they lump us as one. You know,
I'm
when they
trying
put us
to.
together. I can't say it, but so I would hate to just say it's just another black young man that came through there, and they figure
I
he don't have any
understand. I
insurance,
understand.
he don't have any family that was coming to step up, he don't have insurance or nothing. And that's what they do, and they just let you just lay there and die.
That's crazy.
You know,
That is crazy. I can't even imagine. I'm talking about tearing that hospital apart.
I couldn't get in there.
Wow.
I probably got about maybe 10 feet away from my son where I could see
Oh
him, but
my
they
God.
didn't want me to like get that close. But I was like, I'm coming right here. I didn't want to go to jail or anything with so many police out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Well,
But
that was May. Yeah, because COVID had just really started,
yeah,
so they were real strict.
yeah, they kept us out the door. We never got to go in no hospital. Not none of them.
Oh,
The only time I went in the last one when they called me in, and that was sad. It was so I was just shocked because I thought my
oh.
son was still alive, and because one of the police in East St. Louis told me, "So, oh, your son, he gonna
Thank
be
you,
okay."
Chase.
And then when I got over there to Missouri, the SLU, and I said, "What's taking so long? I don't see nobody, coming out or anything." And then so the lady, she said, "I'm gonna call you in a few minutes." So I thought I was going to see my son. I thought I was going back
Right.
there where he was at, and they made my other son stay outside. It was crazy.
Mm,
I went in by myself, but they took me in a little
mm,
room. But I never experienced that, so I thought I was going to see my son. Like I was saying, where's my son? And I just couldn't comprehend
mm.
it and stuff. And then they told me, and I was like, no, that's not. No, I got the wrong person. I just couldn't. And then
Damn.
last thing I knew, I couldn't walk. I was in a wheelchair and all. And my son said when I came back
Right.
out, it was something on my face, breathing. I mean, I just, you know, I just,
That's why they shouldn't have made you go in by yourself to give you that kind of news.
yeah.
Jeez. Oh man.
But they told me what
So
all they
did you?
did. That's how I know what all they did at that hospital. That's why I know, how much time, what all they did there, and what all they had to do. They shouldn't have had to do it because my son would have still had blood in his blood if they would have got him from St. Louis and brought him. And see, the individual that's supposed to be his friend took my son to that hospital. But I tell you the
Mm,
truth, I wouldn't take a cat or dog to that hospital.
when they could have went 10 more minutes over the
Where
and
they
took
was
him
at,
to the crib.
it would have took them 10 minutes to get my son to the hospital.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, you got to be careful. And I tell my son, you be careful. You think you know who your friends are.
I used to always tell my son, you count your friends on one hand. My son didn't need none of these people out here in the street. But like I say, he had a music studio. He,
Yeah,
and he was too
yeah,
trusting. He was too trusting. And my
yeah.
message to a lot of young people is now, don't be so trusting. I used to tell my son, you got your own car, you got your own house, you got your children, you got your family, you work. You don't forget these people because all they want out here is what you got.
Right.
And pretend to
Period.
be his friend. And I really
Yeah,
see it now
yeah,
because they
yeah,
pretend to be his friend.
yeah.
Pretend. If they was
Because
real
somebody,
friends, they would have come on for it by now. My son case would have been
exactly,
solved.
exactly. If he had any real friends, and that's a shame to even say because that people so phony. I mean, I get it, you scared, but come on, anonymous. You can't
Yeah,
even call that
like I
anonymously.
told him, if it was my son would have got justice for your mom and your family. And then my son, he have two children, myself and my husband. I thank God that we were able to get guardianship of them because sometimes it's hard even for the
Yes,
grandparents to get guardianship.
yes, that's
And
beautiful.
because they don't have a mother, neither my son them. They don't have neither parent. But
Jeez.
they always been in our life. Their mother, she passed when my grandson was 1 month old, and at that time, my son, he was young, so I know he ain't know nothing about taking care of no newborn baby. I rearranged my work schedule and all, and took care of the baby, helped him for a whole year. Then when the baby turned 1, I went back to my regular work schedule. I said, okay, now it's on you. But they grew up with us, so they know us and everything. They don't even know the other side of the family. And
Wow.
but I was
Oh,
glad,
wow.
and I thank God that He gave us allowed us
Yes.
to be able to get guardianship and take care of them and finish raising
Yes.
them up. But it's hard because all they ask is they want to know too who killed their daddy.
Yes. How old are
And
they? I mean,
they're
what age group?
13. But
Oh, they're 10.
Denasia, she's 13, and Gregory, he's 11.
Yeah. They want to know. Yeah.
So,
Oh my
so
God.
Yeah, I have some videos.
I was just going to say that I was able to find a little quiet spot, and before we have to go back to the counter again, I just wanted to say something else if I can. So I think that my sister is is probably, she says she's not strong, but she's definitely the strongest person that I know, and I don't say that lightly. I'm a veteran. I served 32 years in the Army, all active duty, deployments, everything, and it was challenging. It was rewarding. And I thought that I had just about seen everything until I had the to witness firsthand the strength that she exhibited every day fighting. And it's going to be a lot of people. The donations that you are making, as you know, they go directly to the Crime Stoppers. And
Yeah.
again, please make sure that you put Gregory Stewart so that it is applied directly to his tip, the tip fund for him. But
Absolutely.
outside of that, people are always asking my sister, what can they do? And I
Hmm.
think each and every one of us, have to look around, our day to day lives, dealings with other people, our communities, and it's going to be something that you will come across that you will say to yourself, this is not right. And then we all have to make that hard decision on taking a stand. And
Right.
and and like she said, just not
not letting this continue to go on. So when you're saying what can we do, it's things like that that you can do to help, that you can do to make a difference in
Right.
your community, and to make sure that you make it as safe as possible, not only for your children, but for all of the other Gregory Stewarts out there. We
Right.
have to come together. We have to help. We have to hold people accountable. Just look and kind of see where that need is in your community. Get to know the people that make the rules and enforce the rules and things in your community, and make sure that they're doing their part. But again, we'll all be able to do something in our own way in order to further this cause. So I thank everyone that is donating, and I say please, aside from that, just be vigilant, and as everyone has been saying in the chat, if you see something wrong, then say something.
Right.
It doesn't get any better by just kind of looking away and probably saying, well, it's not my family, or I shouldn't get involved, because like she said, she never imagined in
Right.
her worst day that she would be going, down this road. And none of us do. None of
Right.
us wake up and say, well, this is the last day that I'm going to see my child, something like that. So, you
Right.
you are making a difference. One small gesture, effort, uh, step in the positive, the right direction, it's going to make a difference.
Right.
Change will occur, but as they say, it's got to start within our own communities, within our own backyards, with
Right.
those people that are here to help and to protect us. And we know that they want to do the right thing, but we have to make sure that they are being empowered, you know. So, um, again,
I,
I just wanted to come back in really quickly before we
I
head
love
back
it.
to the counter,
Yeah.
and thank everyone. And again, my sister, she says she's not, she's she doesn't think that she's strong.
Yes,
I have
she
seen
is.
strength, and she is strong. I mean, she started out, with an idea. Hey, she's got to do something, and
Right.
it has just blossomed into this,
Right.
activist groups, and meeting with. She's literally met with everyone, probably from the mayor to the chief of police to the
I
people
love
out
it.
there,
I love it.
and they're not going to forget his name. They're not going to forget this case. She is putting the pressure on them to do exactly what it is that they're supposed to be doing to the best of their ability, and that's just getting to the bottom of it,
Right.
and being providing feedback to her. You can't just say, well, eventually they're going to go away quietly. No,
No.
she's not going to be able to hug her son ever again. So why should she
Right.
go away quietly? No,
Mm-mm.
no, no,
No.
she's not.
No.
So again, just kind of be vigilant. And if it's anything that you notice that, like you said, if you see something that's wrong, then say something. Find out who that person is that you need to be saying it to, and say that.
Right.
Pick up the phone, make that call, send the email, say something, because what is the alternative? We have to say something. We have to do something. We have to make the change. We have to be that change, and we
Right.
have to make that change.
Right.
Otherwise, what is next? What's next? So I'm going
You okay?
to go back to mute, and I may lose
Awesome.
signal, but I love everyone. I thank everyone for joining the call, and I really thank you for what you're doing for my sister and for all of the people that are in this similar situation. I mean, it's just it's amazing. It's beautiful, and I just want to say thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Honest to God, my pleasure. Thank you. That was beautiful and also true. Just couldn't have said it better myself. Also true. We do. We have to start right in our own backyards. This this just senseless killing. Period. Gun violence, murders. Parents killing their children. This world act like it's just going crazy.
Yeah.
Just stone cold crazy. Natasha, I can't even imagine but Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I was telling one of the activists in our area, I told her today, you know, I would like to start going out and speaking to the youth, speaking to them in the schools, in
Mhm.
different settings, and letting them know the effects of when the gun violence, the effects
Right,
on the victims and their families, as well as themselves, their life and their family lives once they pull that trigger, and what's going to
right.
happen to them, so hopefully, people start calling me up to do it and stuff. And she said she was
Yeah,
going to get with me about speaking. You know,
they need that.
I
They need that.
just want to let them know and talk to them and let them see firsthand. Show them some pictures, talk to them and stuff. Just let them see so they can see how the other family feel, and as well as let
Right,
them know, you know, what's going to happen to them. Because
right.
when somebody, especially a young person, I just saw on the news here tonight. In St. Louis, Missouri,
Mhm, mhm.
a 12-year-old shot and killed a 16-year-old last night. So then you got to
Jeez,
stop and look at it like this. Okay, the 16-year-old is dead. His family is mourning. They're hurting.
thank
You know,
y'all.
they want to see something done to this young man. But in this young man, he was 12. By listening to it, he intentionally did this. So he knew what he was doing. But then
Jesus.
it's like now he's throwing his life away, you
Right.
know. But at least his
But
family, they can see him in, they
yeah,
can go see him in prison if they want to.
right,
But
right. That's
it's
true.
still not going to bring those other people son back. And, so that's two families that's affected.
Yep, yep.
And for him to be 12, he's not, I mean, he killed somebody, murdered somebody, but he's not a
Crazy.
hardened criminal with a record.
Right,
We got
right.
these grown people, though.
Hmm.
One I know got what 17 over 17 violent crimes, gun charges since the age of 17, and you still walking around on the street. You should have been
Hmm.
gone a long time ago. You know, um, so it's sad on both sides. I ask God, and it's very hard for me, but I ask God because I believe in Jehovah, and I try my best to follow in Jesus' footsteps and do what I'm supposed to do because I really
Yeah.
want to come back and see my son again. And and,
Right.
and, and
Mhm.
but I have to forgive, and because God forgives me. And I remember
Right.
when it first started happening, I was like, I hate these people. I hate like this, like that, But now
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm 100%, but I'm probably about maybe 90%. I can say I, I forgive them because I know that God is going to deal with them. But I
Right.
can't say that I can't say and hold that anger and hatred in me because if I do, then God is not going to forgive me for if I
Right.
do any sins. Whatever. The same way He forgive me, we have to forgive each other. But this is a very hard forgiving. But I'm almost
Yes.
there, and I don't say I hate the people no more. All I asked
Mhm,
was justice in my day in court, so I could see that these
mhm,
people are dealt with through the legal system, and they can see me and my family face to face,
mm, mm,
and I get
mm.
a chance to let them know what they did to us and make sure that they get their sentence. And then I know for a fact that God is going to deal with them at judgment day. They ain't getting away with nothing,
See,
and I just try to be like that.
that's
It's a lot of things my man done went through. My man said, Tasha, do this, do that. I get angry, whatever. But
I bet. I
I don't want
bet.
to be sitting up someplace where I don't supposed to be. I don't want to do
Right.
nothing that God not going to forgive me, and I never get a chance to come back and live again. So
Right.
I try to do the right thing. I try to keep my
Right.
mind focused and level, and I pray to
Right.
God. And
I
so
understand.
far, He's keeping me with my strength. But it's
Ooh,
hard. It's hard when I look
yeah.
at my husband going through all of us. But like I say,
Mm,
God has brought me a long way And then I cherish my son memories. I have a lot of memories and a lot of things, and I can smile about some things, you know,
Good.
with him, and that means I'm starting to heal a little bit. But I still have my sad days. Like one day, about a month, 3 weeks ago, just went to the grocery store. Something just triggered me. Came in my car, sit in my car, and cried. Must have been an hour before I even came home. But I cried to myself. You know, I
Right.
did counseling. I said I'm going to get in some grief groups. Because the same way people can give me good ideas to help me and support me, I can share my ideas and my strengths
Mhm.
with them and
Right.
encouragement
Yeah.
and help them so that they can try to get to where I'm at right now. But like I said,
Exactly.
I still have my meltdowns, but it's not
Yeah.
as often as it
Okay.
was.
That's
When it
okay.
first happened, I had medicine and everything else because I couldn't eat, I
Right.
couldn't sleep, I couldn't do nothing.
I know
But I
that's right.
prayed. I pray and I ask God, and God is there with me. And all I can say
Mhm.
as a crime victim survivor, we have to take it day by day, and we have to, day by day, you know, because one day you can be up and perky and okay, and the next day you just down. The other day, one of
Yeah.
my cousins called me. When people call me, Tasha, I just call to check on you, see how you doing, see how the family doing. It makes me feel so good, you know,
Yeah.
and it lifts my spirits,
Yeah.
you know. But like I say, this is a life that was thrown on me, and not only myself, the other people that have to go through it too. We didn't ask to be a part of this. Uh, it's like when your child dies, is murdered. It's a difference in dying and murder because somebody killed him and we don't know who did it. But it's it's like we have a different. I'm like in a different mindset. And for me, like I say, my mind, I keep on putting my son out there. Like I said, I got a
Yeah.
billboard up right now. We got a billboard up. It was supposed to be up for 3 months, but thank God it's still up there, going on 5 months now.
Yeah. Those things ain't cheap.
hmm I'm not paying for it now though. It's just up. But
Oh,
God
good.
has it up there. God still has it
Mm.
up there.
I love it. I love it.
And I have it all over my page, in my son page. I know you saw it.
Uh-huh.
And I plan on next. I'm putting my son, his picture, and then they'll make
Mhm.
the slogan for me, the graphic, but it'll be his
Okay.
picture. And how they design it, it's gonna have to where he died, the day he died, and call Crime
Mhm.
Stoppers in Illinois State Police, and put that in the back of my window of my car. And I should be having
Yes.
that done. That's advertisement. Keep my son, keep his story out there.
Yeah. Every time you, yeah. Yeah.
And then
You've done so much. Oh my God.
and I put him like in a local monitor. We've been in the newspaper. I priced the price, which I'm gonna do that if his case isn't, if these people aren't arrested within, I say, the next 2 to 3 months. I plan on getting one of those airplanes and have him fly a banner with his graphic, with his picture around the city for at least an
Mm,
hour. I
mm.
just do a lot of different things to try
Right.
to keep
Right.
him out there. So I do
Mm,
whatever I have to do,
right.
to try.
Right. That's because that's what you do. You really. I can't believe that you told your sister that you didn't think you were strong.
I
Or
tell
did you tell
people,
us that too? No. No.
people tell
No.
me that. They say, "You're so strong." But like I tell them, I'm strong on the outside, but the inside, I'm doing this because I have to do it. Because if I sit back, like my husband, sometimes he just be like, sometimes he participate, like we do marches and all that. But this daily
Mm,
or weekly stuff I do, I
yeah.
can't take this today. It really bothers him, hurt him, you know, and it hurt me too. Even when I'm out there nailing those things, the posters, the flyers up, I be beating
Yeah.
them into the pole because I'm thinking like, why
Yeah.
am I doing it? Why? But I know if I don't put them out there, my son's story is just gonna go away like some of the other ones. And I know it's
Yeah.
so many murders, but I'm gonna keep my son's story on the front with the new ones. I'm not gonna let it. I can't say what's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna do my best not to let my son case go cold.
Right. Right.
Because
Right.
if it
Right.
go cold, I don't know what I would do. So
Right.
I just keep on. And like they told me, it's still fresh and it's they're getting information.
It is.
It's God is, but
It's
we
barely a
tend to
year.
we tend to pray and ask God something, and then we as humans we try to fix it ourselves. But I had to step back and let God handle the rest of that in His way, and He's handling it. But on the outside, I'm still keeping my son's story out here. But I know in my heart, God is He's revealing the truth.
I can't wait for him to reveal. I mean, is
Um,
there? I, I don't even know. I mean, from a distance, there's not much. I mean, well, is there anything we can do to help out this person? Or is it something where you just need an eyewitness? Or is there, I mean, because there's a lot of smart people floating through these chat rooms and watching
yeah,
these
they
YouTube
need the
videos.
statements. They need people to
Got
come.
to
They
have a
need people
statement.
who willing. They need in St. Clair County. You could say something to the detectives. Okay, they write it all down, but it's not admissible in court unless
You
they
got
have an
right.
oral or written statement that
Okay,
they could
what's the
use.
address that it happened at again?
It's 2408 Bond Street, Bond Street in East St. Louis, Illinois. And it was May the 29th at 2020.
So, um, sorry, my critical thinking brain just kicked in just a little bit, just a little bit. It was at a home
It
in front of
was
a.
in the driveway by a house. And these people, they moved out the next day after my, it was just some, the, these people. But anyhow, they moved out
Dang.
the next day. They was gone the next day. They moved out the next day. They burned the house up behind where my son got shot at because they had
Wow.
cameras. I mean, ugh,
They had cameras?
the house behind. But these people, I know it wasn't no coincidence. The house burned up the next day.
Mm,
So they did
oh,
it. They burnt
wow.
it up trying to get rid of the evidence because they knew the house had the cameras on it.
That don't even, I mean, why not just. Okay. So when you share stuff in your Facebook group, it's going out to basically that end of the world. It's because I'm
I,
West Coast, but it goes
I,
everywhere. But I don't know if it goes this
what I
the same.
do is it's just like you picked it up, but
Uh-huh.
everybody that picks it up. So I mean, I started with the lady. Her name is Tamika. She's in Miami, Florida, and
Okay.
I went into her group because I saw that they was doing a justice for a young lady, and I had no idea how to get started. I couldn't get on the news. I couldn't get my son's story out besides trying to talk through Facebook. And she helped me and gave me some leads and stuff, and then I just started doing it. But it's in Florida. Like I said, it's in Canada. It's a lady. She's a research media person. Her name is Tamara Cherry, and I thank everyone, but I thank her so much too because she got with the media. She sent everything. She did a press release and everything, and I had a huge turnout from every local news media as well as the news channels and the newspapers here in this area. At my
Oh,
son 1 year, uh,
beautiful.
1 year anniversary, and she's also writing a book, and she told me that it'll be released next year, and she's going to dedicate a whole chapter to myself and my son.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Nice.
And she's all the way in Canada,
Okay.
and like I said, I have a lot of different other groups and
Good.
organizations and
So
people
it's
here. I had the I'm very grateful. I had the opportunity to meet Floyd George nephew Cortez Rice. I had the opportunity to speak with Breonna Taylor's aunt, Bianca, you know, and like I said, they're trying to get me into some other things to help me as well, on the legal end. But
nice. Nice.
I,
Yeah.
the
That's
doors are opening up for me. And like I say, here in my area, I have several groups and organizations, that support me and help me.
nice.
And
Very good.
another young lady, her name is Skylar Parnell. She, her son, he was murdered His name was Aaron, and he was murdered. I think like in 2018, so maybe a year before my son. And she's seeking
Mhm.
justice for her son also. You know,
Wow.
so and she has groups and stuff. And she
Same
helps out in the
area?
community a lot. So I help her and she helped me. We give each other ideas and we support each other and stuff. Mentally and stuff, just to
Yeah.
get through this
Yeah.
ordeal that we're living now.
Oh
And
my God.
another another lady, her name is Gloria. She's Gloria Hicks. She's an activist as well in the area, and she helps me a lot. I could pick up the phone any time of the night and call either of those two.
Nice. Okay.
Either Shalina Morfield. I can call any of those three people, and they're going to answer. They talk to me when I need somebody to talk to, no matter what
Good.
time it is or whatever. And like I
Good.
said, they also help me in any type of way that they can to try to get me with the right connections
Yeah. Yeah.
within the community.
That's awesome, especially on that legal side, because that's where it's at right now. Because you definitely want to. What did you say the name of that hospital was?
Touche Hospital.
Touche.
And the hospital is not even 3 minutes, 2 minutes from where my son got killed there. And the young man, though, he took my son there. His so-called friend took him to that hospital. Why? I would never know.
Did he take him and drop him off and roll out?
Well, he couldn't come in because of the COVID.
Well, I mean, was he like standing out there with you the whole time, or he got out of there?
No, he was
Mm,
gone. My son's was very furious,
wow.
so he left.
Oh, I see. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Well, I can understand that. Oh my God. We definitely gonna keep sharing and sharing. I know you.
Yeah, but I can tell
You.
you one thing: it's a lot of people out here, and I know East St. Louis is only 89 blocks. That's how big East St. Louis, Illinois is, and I know that they know what happened to my son. They know who did it, even if
Yeah.
it was at least 15 people out there. But
Yeah.
besides those people, they brothers, they sisters, their girlfriends, their moms, their dads, grandparents, they know who did it because some of them they done been talking.
Right.
And even themselves, they need to just come on forward with the truth. Like I talked to a couple of them over the phone, and I said, imagine if it were you, how your mother would feel.
Right.
Help our family to get justice. Stop protecting these murderers. Stop protecting this person that killed my son. He don't need
Yeah.
no protection. He deserves to be put behind bars and
Yeah.
he deserves to be charged and arrested for what he did to our son. But I
Definitely.
just can't understand for the world. I mean, why are they protecting these murderers? Why?
They do it. I don't know why. And it's a really small. I wonder. Well, with a place with an area that small, yeah, a few people know something.
They know. Because when I put up flyers, I look at people expressions. When I put flyers in people windshields, I talk to people. People
Mm,
know.
they just
And
won't talk.
but they won't be the brave person. They keep talking about the streets. Forget the snitching in the streets and the this and the that. They need
Oh
to
no,
just do the right thing. Do the right thing and get justice for not only my family, but for all the other families that lost their loved ones. And let's get these criminals off the streets. I feel like I'm old school for real. And I feel like the people they need to pull together
There you go,
and
John.
get our neighborhoods back like they used to be back in Martin Luther King in them days. When black people, they wasn't killing each other up and all that. They pulled together, even in my generation. But then when 2000, after my kids was born, like in the 80s, the 2000 and stuff, I don't know. They don't believe in that. But the
No,
older people need
no, no.
the older people need to take charge
Right.
of
Yes,
of what their neighborhoods and try to pull our neighborhoods back and put our feet down and show this generation we're not going to tolerate it because it's not even safe for the elderly people
no, it's not.
in that
No.
neighborhood. When I was passing out flyers, I've never seen nothing like that. It's like they have two doors and all they got to come through just to get out the front door, and they barricade in with the bars and stuff. They shouldn't have to live like that. I don't
No.
live in East St. Louis, but I live very close to East St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of? I mean, is the law enforcement, are they keeping in touch with you about it? What are
Well,
they
my
saying?
detective, I don't give him a choice. I talk to my
Okay.
detective every time I call him, he call me back. We have a very close bond, me and him, and I feel like he's working very diligent on my son case because I was told this by someone from another, you know, agency office, that know, I'm talking about, he's very, like I say, he answers me, he calls me, he listens, and he follows up on whatever
Yeah. Good.
information is given to him. So he is an excellent
Nice.
detective, and I couldn't ask for a better detective. He's
Nice.
doing
That's
his
good
job.
to hear.
It's not the detectives.
That's
Like I
good
said, it's
to
the
hear.
prosecutor. Because when they come with, just say, everything they give, they get all the information. But it's still not enough. They want that eyewitness. They want
Right.
that person. If somebody just say, okay, let me give a statement, boom, that's it. That's it. Here come the arrest warrants. And like I say, that's the only way that our prosecutor is going to move. Our prosecutor in St. Clair County don't even want to speak to the victim family because I tried to communicate with them and call them at least twice. I meant to do it again today, but I didn't
Hmm.
do it. I forgot I was doing something else. But they won't even
Hmm.
communicate with us. They don't even know who my son is. My son case, they don't even know who Gregory Stewart is or nobody else that's
Wow.
murdered in this county until the paperwork, someone is arrested. As long as they're not arrested, the paperwork
Yeah.
is just sitting on the detective desk.
Wow.
Because
That's
when they say
crazy.
Gregory Stewart, who is Gregory Stewart? And I got really sort of a little upset and I said, excuse me, that's my son. And he was murdered,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. I mean, but I
Right.
feel they the prosecutor office, I don't care if you have an arrest or not. You should still know every individual. If it's 50 got killed in a year, you should be able to know a little bit of something about each
Well,
individual. And
at least
they
the
don't know
name will
nothing. All they
make it
know is
ring
that
a
they're
bell.
black. That's all they know. And they
Hmm.
got killed in East St. Louis. That's all they can tell you. Can't tell you nothing else about none of them.
They were,
Nobody.
wow. Just put it
And
in the
that's
pot.
sad.
That is
That's
sad.
sad. But I feel
Yes.
like if they don't want to do their job and they don't want to prosecute and they don't want to bring these murderers and help to get us justice, and they don't need their job. And that's what I was telling the lady today. We need to pull together. We need to stand up. We need to go to the state capitol or something, do a
Yeah, it's
petition or
bigger.
something, because
Yeah,
something needs to be done.
right. It's definitely it's bigger
And
than one case. It's bigger than
yeah,
just one
yeah,
state.
it's
It's
bigger than
bigger
Mike.
than,
It's
yeah.
it's all over really, but
Yeah.
here is, you know, it's, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Illinois, yeah, a lot of people talk about the corruption on so many levels in Illinois. I don't understand. But I'm glad you got a good detective. Do they
Oh yeah.
have him? Does he have help? I mean, are they actively investigating? I know it's an
Oh
open investigation.
yes, yes, yes.
Right. Okay.
I go to him. I go to his head boss. I go to this other
Well, I know
agencies.
you do.
When I started speaking on my son, they brought in other. I told them we needed the feds, and they brought in, since my son got murdered.
Yeah.
I think that myself and a couple of other people that's in the community, we helped to get a group called PSEC, which stands for Public Safety Enforcement. And
Nice.
so they work along with the Illinois State Police. And,
Okay.
you know, it is some things like one time right after my march, I went over there. They tore my son memorial down. I have that. And it's on our pages as well. I was just heartbroken. It was
Wow.
just unbelievable. They stripped the whole thing. And if you saw the 1 year memorial, I had a balloon arch out there. I had all the, I have his memorial with his, they took everything, even
Who
took the
tore it
lights out.
down?
The people in that community,
Wow.
they even took the lights out the ground. So
Wow.
in turn, with
Terrible.
that, it just put more pressure on themselves. You know,
Yeah, because why would they, that's real sus.
Mhm.
Why would they do that?
But I
Interesting.
took about a month, and I got myself back together, and then I went back out full force again.
I love
Like
it.
I told him, if I could, I would stand up on top of the Capitol building and have my son picture and say, "Hey,
Mm, Yes.
'cause it's not
There
gonna let
is
them stop
life
me."
matters. That's right. I love
And
it. I love it about you.
we'll be planning another. Well, his 1 year anniversary will be in April, but before April, I have to wait for the weather to come and break, which probably like in February or sometime. If they still don't have someone in custody, then I'll be going back out and doing another march or doing something, you know.
Okay.
But this time,
Okay.
it's hopefully it's going to be a few more families besides myself and do something and we get together. And
Right. Right.
like
Bigger.
I told him, we need to keep our children out here. And like
Yeah,
I
we
told
do.
every day, I don't care if it's every day people get tired of looking at me or tired of looking at my son picture, my son over the town. You know, one
Yeah.
person is going to come in and they're going to say, okay, this is enough.
Right.
And they're
Right.
going to break it.
Do the right thing.
Or
Just
they're
do
going to
the
go to
right thing.
their family member that they know they had some involvement. And they're going to say, okay, it's time to give this mother
Right.
justice.
Right. Right. Just just make a call anonymously. The number's right there. It's scrolling across. If you happen to see this video, it's scrolling across the screen. Anonymous, man. That means you don't have to even tell who you are. You
Mm-mm.
have nothing to lose.
All they do is give you a number at the end, and that's it. And you keep that number. They don't know who you are, and they don't have caller ID.
Please, come on. I mean, yeah, somebody always knows something, but especially like I said, in that little proximity right there. I mean, did any John had mentioned something? John Q is another creator. He came in um, while we were talking, and John was mentioning being able to get like the street view to see who else had cameras. Did they mention anybody else having cameras on the street? Did your detective mention
Well,
other than
it's like they just said the store, and then next to that house is another house. But I mean, I've done really surveillance the whole block, and you don't really see cameras, not on that front part anyhow. But it's two stores. But at the time, it was just one store. But the house right next door, they don't have cameras. I don't see any out there. And it's a
two
church
stores?
it's a church across the street, but the church was too diagonal from my son. He got the bullets came from like the lane in the back. See what I'm saying?
Mm,
So they were standing like on the front in the
okay.
grass. See, the grass was so tall, and that's where it fall back on the homeowner. That grass,
Mm,
if you look at a video I made, it's on Justice FOR Gregory Stewart. Plus, I have some pictures on my page and my son page. It was a two-story
okay.
house, and the grass was up over one story of the house. So therefore, the cameras from the store, they wouldn't have been able to see all the way through the bushes to see who was shooting from the alley, from the back. But they circled the
Mm,
block.
wow, wow. Okay, I see
Mhm.
what you're saying. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So therefore, the church is like cat a corner from the house, but it still couldn't see around the house and from the back there who was back there.
Because of the grass.
Hmm. Yeah.
Is that church Mount Zion Missionary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh my God.
That's
So then
Skylar.
now you got the grass. Oh, is that family too? Or
That, that
somebody you
was
know?
that was Skylar that I was telling you about her son, and her son had got murdered.
Oh, got
That's
you.
what I was saying. We
Hi,
help each other and
Skylar.
we support each other.
Hi, Skylar. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, yes, thank God y'all can be there for each other because, ooh, alone, this ain't nothing to do alone. Nothing to go through alone. Oh my God. And I know you got your husband too, but for just a woman, somebody's been through it, it's just good to have somebody that understands, I'm sure. I can't imagine. I can't. Um,
Yeah, and
so,
then I have to deal with all my family members. Like I say, my immediate family. Trying to keep my sons calm, trying to do this. When they heard I hear them crying and they miss their brother, they just want their brother. I mean, it hurts me so much. My husband, him and my son, they was very, very close. And you know, like I said, he's taking it very, very far. And sometimes I just feel so bad for him too, because I be like he be sick and stuff. And it's like he do a downward spiral since my son got murdered. And then,
Right.
it's just, oh, it affect my whole family. And like I
Yeah,
say, my
that.
two grandchildren, you know, just looking at them, and I try to keep them in counseling, try to just be there for them, and just try to put a little smile on their face, but they're adapting. But like I said, we all have our different pains. Me and my husband have our pain of losing them as a parent. They
Yeah.
have them, their pain is losing their no, a son for us, but for them
Their parent.
is
Right.
losing their parent. And then the fact they
Right.
know their daddy, they've been in their daddy life ever since they was born, and they don't have another parent. So I know it's
Right.
hurtful, and like I say, but I try my best, you know,
Yeah.
and we just try to make them happy, and I keep them in the Bible and stuff, and let them know you got to do what God wants you to do and be good little children and stuff, and that way you gonna see your daddy again. And then if they doing something, I'll be like, your daddy is. You can talk. Like my little granddaughter, she said, it made me so sad. She said when I want to hug she said my daddy, I just hug myself, And I mean it's just
Wow.
sad though. She's 13, and I know she really miss her daddy. You know, she
Wow.
can't do the daddy daughter dance. She can't do that stuff. And
Yeah.
my husband
Yeah.
too old to be doing that.
Hey, right. You
But
like,
like I say, it's just hard. It's hard. It
yeah.
really is.
And he wants to, I'm sure.
And like I say, my sons, because I look at my mom, I hope we get justice, because my mom, she's not really young, but she's not, she's still a little spring chicken, but, I want
Right.
her
Right.
to see justice and see these people held accountable,
Yeah.
too. We
Yeah.
just want
Absolutely.
justice. And I, I'm always talking and asking these people, come on forward with the truth. We go into the neighborhood, we still go make our presence and stuff, because that's how we get a lot of information, and people talk, the streets talk, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. You got to
like I
stay
said,
out
it's
there.
hard. And sometimes it's dangerous, but I mean, we just do what we
Yes.
got to do. Because I tell
I
people
know
straight, I
it
don't
is.
want to die, but I'll do anything for my son, even if it meant, if y'all want to try to kill me, because I'm not going to stop, and I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to
Right.
continue,
Right.
you know,
Right.
because I have to continue
Right.
until I get justice. And then even after I get justice, then I'm still going to, advocate and help the people that lost their loved ones, if they allow me to. I'll be there to
Yeah.
help them and help them, give them some ideas and suggestions, and let them know,
Yeah.
you know, come
From
on, we
what
can
you've
do this.
already.
Yeah.
Yes. And thank goodness. I mean, just that you even want to be able to, that you say that you can do that, or that you are going to do that for people when you still dealing with your own thing, that says a lot about you.
But I feel good when I help other people too. If I could give somebody help somebody in some kind of way, give them a good suggestion, or say, okay, do this, or this is how. Like one day I was talking to this lady, and I gave her the Crime Stoppers, because people in Illinois, for real, the children, our family is not even on Crime Stoppers, unless, I mean, it's very few. If you have 50
Mhm.
murders, maybe 10 is on the Crime Stoppers. But, I had to, I don't know how I thought about it during that time, but I got my son on the Crime Stoppers, and I help other people to try to get these children on Crime Stoppers. I tell them, make flyers, put them out. I'll help you pass them out. We just do this together, you know.
Right.
It's just me
Right.
and my little family here that be doing mine, but it's a lot of people. They've been wanting to help me put it out. This is a shirt I
Yeah.
made for my son. I'm going to stand up. This is my
Oh,
shirt I have on, my son. This shirt right here. It said
oh, that's
justice.
nice.
And this is him. And then to the bottom, and I got his date of birth and everything. But like I say, I make shirts, I do masks, I do the hoodies, I do everything, and I wear them because I want people to see Gregory Stewart on me, and
Right.
a lot of people know who I am, But it could be somebody like I went in the store the other day. Oh, you Gregory, and then they didn't really know how to approach me, but they started talking. We started talking. I said, yeah, I'm his mother, you
Uh,
know, and I'm
yeah.
seeking questions and answers. But you never know. Like I told one of my sons, don't be so hostile and angry, because his motto is, "Don't talk to me unless you can tell me who killed my brother." That's
Right,
what he said.
right. He just, yeah.
You know,
Different. It's
but with
different.
me, I off I am open to anybody that come up to me and start a conversation. Because guess what? Somebody they're giving me some more information that I didn't
Right,
know that
right,
I to help to solve the murder of my son.
right. They might just tell you something you can use.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get it. I know earlier, Lady R, she asked what was Gregory's favorite color, and I actually do want to
Red.
know.
His
I,
favorite color
I
was red.
I assumed that. You notice my decor of the room tonight is red. I
Hmm.
assumed that just from the flyers and stuff. I did. I just wanted to be
He
sure.
he loved red and black.
There we go.
Those was his
Decorated in his
favorite
honor.
colors, red and black. Hmm.
Another thing I was going to ask you, did they ever do any type of media coverage? Was this shooting like, and this might be a silly question for the area, I'm not sure, but was it on the news at all when this happened? Or was it
Oh
just
no.
like
Well, I'm gonna
nothing?
tell you when it happened. Like I said, I was probably like the average person that I'm running across that don't want to be bothered. I was like very hostile. I was angry. I felt like, okay, nobody up here, none of these young people don't need to know nothing about my son, because they was being
Right.
nosy. I the only person saw my son once they brought his body back to Illinois. We got him back over here. We viewed him there. Me and my family, we saw him because I wanted to see him. And
Mm-hmm.
then I shipped my son back home, put him on a plane, and they flew him back to Georgia. And he's buried where we're from in Georgia. At the time, I was so hot and angry. I told that funeral man, "You put my son in the paper here. Don't you say, don't do anything." I didn't want any
You
dealings
don't
with
want
people.
the
That's the way I
coverage.
felt at the time, because the young people.
God,
I was angry and everything. I don't want on the news, nothing. But that's the way I felt, because I was
I
very angry
understand.
and hostile at the
Yeah.
time. And I thought everybody, it's not, I knew everybody didn't do it, but that's just the way I was feeling at the time. So then,
Yeah.
probably about a month or two later, I that's when I said I got to stop this, and that's when I started sharing my son's story. I started sharing it. Then I started reaching out to the newspapers and different people. News people started reaching out to me through Facebook and stuff, sending me invites. Just like
Right.
when you contacted me, I had just went home to see I had a sister pass at that time, about a month ago. So I went to
Mm-hmm.
Savannah, where I'm from, and I saw my son after everything. So when I saw my son at the grave, like I said, everything I do is geared to up here, to the public,
Right.
to try to get their attention and get them to come forward with information to solve my son's murder and put themselves in our shoes, and see how we feel. And so when I made that live at the graveyard, I was down there
Mm-hmm.
visiting. I went for a funeral, but I went and saw my son, and I said, we got to go, and I'm always doing something, so that's what I did. And then when I came back, I saw, your message and stuff, and then that's when I reached out to you. But I was very excited and happy, because that's my
Mm-hmm.
goal, to get my son's
Right.
story out all over the
Right.
world if I
You
can.
did it.
I
You
don't
did
want them
it.
to be able to go nowhere. I don't want them to hide any place. I want everybody to know who Gregory Stewart is and what happened to him and where it happened at in the address. And that
Yes.
way, prayerfully, it'll lead to somebody coming forward with information. So it'll lead to the rest of the people that's responsible for murdering him.
Yeah. Because somebody over there, other than the house and those people, where they moved to? Just to another, are they still in the area? The people that were living in that home at that time in 2020, the ones that moved out, what you said, the next day? Do you know that
I'm
they
gonna
just
put it
like,
like this: they was not no, they wasn't regular citizens. Those was just some
oh,
young
oh,
people that didn't have any goals and ambition and stuff about themselves. They were just, I don't
Gotcha.
even know them. But I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
if you saw that house and you saw the grass and everything, I mean, they were scared because they knew that they were in trouble, and they all dipped. They disappeared.
Wow. So they ain't even trying to.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna say
they.
they disappeared because I don't even know them. I don't know nobody. Only person I know that's involved with this was my son, and I know one individual that called my son down there. But like I said, when he called my son down there, he didn't call my son down there for no to. It wasn't like that. He didn't. It's like I said, he didn't even know that these people was coming around here and start shooting. It just was
Mm,
coincidence, you
right.
know. And he in they called somebody. These people they came. This person, people they can't. It
Yeah.
happened so fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my son had just got out
Wrong
there. From
place,
my
wrong
understanding, they
time.
was just outside. Yes, as they said, he was out there shaking it up, giving each other love and all that. You know the guys.
Yeah.
And they was fixing all get in their cars. They always fixing get in their cars and go home because they played a game on live, so the PlayStation and stuff, and that's what they said they was
Oh,
fixing to
okay.
go home, and all of them was going to get online, but that
Right.
didn't happen,
Mm, mm,
and the
mm.
person just came around shooting,
Right.
and like I say, unfortunately, my son got killed, got shot,
That's
but
terrible.
everybody is saying the bullet wasn't meant for him. They know who the bullet was for and everything. The person know who the bullet was, and the person know they should do the right thing. Because
The
my
one that
son
got
case
away.
could have
The
been
one.
solved. Hmm.
So the person who the bullet was meant for is still walking around, and they know
Hmm.
who.
And they know my
Um,
son took the bullet for him. Yeah,
that's
yeah. They
crazy.
know that it was meant. They know that it was meant for them.
That's so weak. That is so weak. You could anonymously call in, or like, how weak do you have to be to let somebody take a bullet and then no, man, that's when they do get you.
And
I hope
we
they.
didn't know, but that is what everybody is saying now. It was meant for that another individual. It wasn't meant for my son.
Mm-mm.
My son, like say, he just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's like say you call me
No,
someplace and then something happened, but it's somebody, and something happened, but and it was not even intended for me, but something happened to me.
right. You gonna, yeah. Ironically, though, you happen to call me up, and then this drama goes down. Like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta. Oh, see, well, now the people, this person was this somebody that was like that he knew for like a long time, or they just kind of betrayed him, or I mean, because
He thought
they're
it
not
was
gonna
his. He just thought
find
it was his friend. Put it like this: he thought it was his friend.
out.
But I'm starting to see if not, if my son could come back and look down here, my son would be shaking his head and looking like, that wasn't
Right.
your friend. Because like I say,
Okay.
if it was me, I would have done turned these people in,
Right.
and I would have got that family justice.
Right. Exactly.
And especially
Or
if it was my fault, and you
or
would have, I know what happened, and you was, so
yeah. Period. I
yeah.
just don't understand. Wow. And that person alone could solve this crime and crack this case. Seriously.
If it's enough information, it could have been solved for real. But like they say in Illinois, you can't make nobody tell the truth. You can't
Right.
do this. You can Everything is geared toward the criminal.
And ain't nothing else. There's nothing else. There's no cameras. There's nobody's cell phone. There's no not probable cause to pick nobody up for nothing. They just gotta have these statements.
They want statement. The statements is all that matters in Illinois. I mean in this area is statements. They need that verbal or they need that statement, I guess. They need the eyewitness statement.
And that's probably the hardest thing to get. again, especially in a little area with that temperament running around.
Yeah.
They ain't finna. I mean, somebody will, but for the majority of them, they all covering up their own dirt, so
Yeah.
they don't want to tell on nobody else.
That's what it seemed like to me too.
Do you have an attorney right now, Natasha?
Yeah. Oh, no, no, no. I don't have an attorney. I was thinking about trying to get a private investigator, but I don't have one.
John Q was saying, okay, he was saying because if you did, he can get the tenant rent records regarding who was living there May
Oh, we,
29th.
we we found out who lived there. We know who lived there. Yes, we already know those names. We know.
Oh,
We got that information. We do.
mm,
Yeah.
well, that's good
Yeah.
because
But like I
that's
said,
what
they wasn't. I don't know anything personally about the people,
I
but
get it.
it's my impression and my opinion.
Understood.
It wasn't like somebody that's hard working out here and then just say somebody you kill out there in your front yard.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't those kind of people, put it like that.
Right. Yeah.
The
No,
house
because
has
those
a
kind of
history. The house that particular house has a history. We've learned all this stuff. What I say is what I've learned since my son
wow.
was murdered. Like I said, I do my own investigation,
Right. Of course.
and that house has a history.
So it sounds like a bunch of hoodlums living up in there.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that word, but that's it.
That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
I
Yeah,
didn't want to
I,
say that, but that's exactly.
that's all I can picture. I mean, who would do
People
that?
that don't have no morals, no values, no nothing,
Right.
and just a
Exactly.
hangout spot, and I guess whatever goes to that house goes.
There you go. Hoodlums.
And then the neighbors was like, when they call the police and stuff, the police never come. The police they tell a lot of stuff that went on around that house.
Wow.
Yeah, several people done got shot over there. It's just, I don't know. It's so much. It's a lot.
Is it
And
just that?
if you go on and you can Google that address. You'll see some more stuff. There's
Oh
been
yeah,
another
they in the
incident
chat room they've
around.
already been Googling it. That's where some of the questions were coming from. They on
Mhm.
top of it.
They found a lady. A lady was dead in the garage. Probably about a month after my son got killed.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, that area sounds.
And when they told us, we thought that maybe they was finding some more information about my son shooting, and that's how we found out it was a female. But I don't know anything else about that because I never heard anything else, and I guess her family just didn't take an interest because together we could have did this together and went on that venture together since it was the same address.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's why you get so much love over here for sure, because that's the alternative right there. Those parents that don't care enough to even figure out what happened to their baby. And then on the flip side, you over here doing everything and then some. You about to fly a blimp damn near. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, I'm
Excuse
gonna
my
have to
language.
blink. It's gonna be up. And I prayed to
You
God, and
know?
I got my money together for my billboard and got it on up there with the help of God. And like I said, God
Oh,
still got it up there. Last month, I got a coworker every day. She come to me and said, "Your baby's still up there, and honey, it's so
that's
beautiful. I know you
right.
saw it. It looks like my son is my son." I said, "He's still looking down over East St.
Looking
Louis."
down. Yes.
And when I go
Yes.
there, it's like he's talking to me. And I said, "Baby, don't
Uh-huh.
worry, we're gonna get justice."
Right.
And
In
it's
they
a
face.
beautiful billboard it is.
It is a beautiful billboard. It is.
And I am gonna do the plane because, like I said, no amount of money.
I ain't
I,
mad
I
at you.
put all my money toward my son, and
Yes.
I plan on doing that because it's gonna get a lot of attention. People looking, people, wow, okay, and they're gonna see it and they're gonna remember this stuff because they
Yes,
haven't
they are.
seen this type of stuff happen. I don't think they seen nobody like me for real. I think the police is some detective. They probably think I'm half crazy. But like I said, I keep on going and fighting and fighting and fighting. They probably say, I don't know where this mama come from, but I'm different.
Yeah, it's one. It's I say what 2 and 10, 2 and 10. You see, as far as well, when they come out, black mothers anyway, they seem to come out strong like this when they come out.
Hmm.
But it's only 2 and 10 that come out. I honestly, I don't see a lot of us out here speaking up and really pushing like that. I don't know if we just go home and cry or what, but I don't. Not that there's none, but there's very few
Like
of
I
you.
And if we all pulled together and did it together, we could make a big
Exactly.
change.
Come on out.
It,
Exactly. Fight.
it's enough murders right here in this area that if everybody pulled together that lost loved ones, we could constantly be doing something. We could be doing something 30 days out of the month. And we
Exactly.
going to get the attention to let them know we're not going to tolerate this. Is enough.
Yep. Do it
You know,
together. You don't have to accept that.
it just makes, when I look at the news and stuff every day, oh, I said, Lord have mercy. I just pray, and I said, it's just so sad. It's sad. And I
Especially
feel so.
in the area where you live. Is it the same way, or is it just over that way in East St. Louis?
Well, I'm not far from there. This area it's all St. Clair County. You got East St. Louis, you got Cahokia, you got Belleville, uh, you have Centerville, Arlington. All of it, is all one county. But East St. Louis is just predominantly, in Cahokia and Centerville is predominantly the black citizens. Black
Hmm.
mayor and all this and that. And then when you go up to Belleville and stuff, it's most of the Caucasian people, and you know, they have like mixture in their office. But East St. Louis is basically all black, and so that's in Cahokia and, like I say, Centerville, Arlington, and all that.
Okay.
But no, when you put it all together, but when I say East St. Louis, it's just East St. Louis. Then you got the other
Okay.
little sub communities.
Okay. Got it. I'm gonna look at it
So we
on the
have our
on.
own little. Hmm.
No, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up too online later when we're not talking. What were you gonna say? That's fine.
No, I just, all I can say, but if the leaders step up and they start putting forth the effort and helping, then the citizens will feel more comfortable and maybe they'll come forward and they'll stand
Right.
up as well because they'll feel
That's
like
true.
they have the leaders to guide them and the leaders are in control. But when you don't have that, then what do you expect for the citizens to do? I thought it was the
Right. That's
saddest
true.
thing. Like I said, it wasn't even my son's march. It was Stop the Violence in East St. Louis. And I said, I'm going to that because I'm a crime
Mm,
victim. And when I got there, I was just like, it was embarrassing and everything else for it to be Stop the Violence in East St. Louis. And all you saw was a couple of families like myself that lost our loved ones. But where was the leaders?
wow. That's crazy.
They weren't
Yeah,
there.
the mayor
None of
definitely should have been there.
them. None of them.
I would think.
You know, I would have thought so too, especially when I sat in his office for 2 hours and he told me I would be there, Miss Stewart, in the day of my
Wow.
event. Never came,
Wow. That's terrible.
you
Like,
know.
come on, man.
But
You
like I said,
can't.
the chief came. The chief of police did come and he gave us a personal escort.
One's
He stayed
good.
there to make sure we were safe and everything until everything was done and we were gone.
That's nice.
And
That's
I really thank him for that.
so a good chief and a good detective, but we need an
And that's
eyewitness,
it. And
right?
and that's it.
And a
Like I
mama
say,
that's fighting like
just
hell.
like really and heartbroken. And any suggestions or anything I can do, I greatly appreciate it from
Well, yeah,
anybody. willing to try just about
You
anything, as
gonna
long as
get
it's
them.
legal, anything to try to get my son's story out here and get my son's case solved.
Yeah, you gonna get them. You're gonna get suggestions. They're gonna filter in, and there are probably plenty of them rolling through chat. But I'm having a conversation right now, so I haven't been reading. You guys, please excuse me. I've been popping back and forth, catching what I can, but that's how I communicate. So I haven't really been watching um during this particular conversation, but I can scroll back through there definitely and see what kind of but it's late for you. I don't want to keep you longer than I told you. um I know I got you by a couple of hours, but so I heard one song from Gregory, and it sounded like it was uplifting. It was like about um I mean, it was hood. It was hood, but it was
Yeah,
about what was going on in the hood. Like, brothers was dying basically. Not in those words, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
put that on there. That was his friend. That was a friend, and my son represented, and he loved his friend. His nickname was Boogie. We call him Boogie, and he
okay,
called him his brother. He was a nice young man, and
okay,
when he died, my son, he just kept Boogie music name going. My son was a friend to him. My son kept him going until my son was murdered. Uh,
mm,
and that's what I expected from some of these people in the music industry here and stuff. You know, keep my son going. Talk about my son. Make some
right,
videos. Do this, do that. But it's not happening. A few people made a few songs when my son first got killed. But other than that,
right.
it's
Just
it's
fell
just
off.
it's Gregory Stewart. And
Wow.
my
Mm,
son, he has his own page. It's still open. But in this day and time, the young people, the rappers, they rap
yeah,
different. They
yeah.
rap and then they make the music, it's some violence in it. It's they be talking, but I mean it's just rap.
Right,
And
right,
that
right.
kind of music is what got Def Jam to want my son. My son, they were scouting for and they wanted him. My
That's
son
awesome.
used to do my son used to do shows in St. Louis. My son used to people from like what place that I can't think of the name of the cities, but they used to send my son tickets and stuff, and my son
Nice.
sold the tickets, and then he got out there and he did performances and stuff for him. And then,
Okay.
like I said,
That's
that's the Def Jam. They wrote my son, and
that's a
they
big
wanted
deal.
him. You know, so my son, he was a very good, uh,
He was
in the
trying.
music industry, and plus he had
Yeah.
his
Yeah,
own
he had
music.
to be.
Because he was like,
Yeah.
Mom, I want you to sign and I want you to be my CEO. And, he wanted me to guide him and help him. But like I say, he had his own studio and everything. And, he made videos and stuff. And I'm talking about, like,
He
his
sounds
friend
like he
Boogie,
was all over it.
we actually went to the graveyard and made a video for Boogie. And that was a really nice out at the graveyard. And we rode our cars around and everything. I mean, he was always out there doing something. I mean, so many people. If somebody was hungry, he gave them. I think he got this stuff from me. He would feed the homeless. He give them money. He give his so-called friends when people he had no place to stay. He let them stay in his house. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
uh, he let them drive his cars. I mean, and if he consider you a friend, just like the one that they called him out, he thought that was his friend. He let that boy drive
Mm.
his car for about 2 months straight before he got killed. I mean, my
Wow.
son, he gave him a place to stay and everything. After this boy got shot in 2018, my son didn't know him. He met him through the girl he was dating at the time.
Mm.
But he took this young man in his house. He helped to heal this young man, and he helped this young man. And that's why I
Mm.
can't understand. This is your payback,
Right.
you know.
And you can't come forward and say nothing, bro.
Get
You
justice for
can't
my
say
son, you
nothing,
know.
bro. Come
Like I
on
say,
now.
he can imagine if it was him and how his mama would feel. You know,
Exactly.
but like I
How
say,
he
all of them,
dealing with his son.
and I tell them constantly, my son bloodshed is on the ones that know him just as well as the shooter because they all gonna be held accountable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you know what happened,
Oh,
who
yep.
did this, yeah, you're just as responsible for letting them walk free. Who knows? They
Yeah.
might do it again. They may have already
Yeah.
done it
Might
again.
turn around and get you next. Might turn around and get some of them next. The same ones that's out there.
Exactly.
While they sitting there and they protecting these individuals.
Exactly.
And like you said,
Exactly.
they do it once, they'll do it again.
Yeah, especially if they get away with it.
Or they feel like they got away with it.
Right. Right. Because you don't have a statement. Somebody's gotta say something. We already know you saw something. It's just time to say it. For real.
And I mean, it doesn't take how do you say, a rocket scientist. If
Right.
somebody's shooting and we running, guess what? You're gonna look behind you at some point in time because you want to make sure the bullets is not coming where you in your direction where you're running at. So
Right.
you're gonna look back.
Right.
So out of all
They
those
know.
people and stuff, I know they know what happened and they know who did it. And then not only that, after the fact, the word done got all around the neighborhood. They know who
Oh
killed my.
yeah. Immediately, as soon as the bullets stopped flying, everybody came back out. They was congregating and conversing, and everybody knew right then what had just happened and who that
Mm-hmm.
was. They know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now they just got to speak up. I don't know what
Yeah.
they're
And
waiting
tell the
on. I
truth.
mean, if they're waiting on a dollar amount, maybe.
But that's why I say, we just constantly, myself and my family and even my job made a donation. We putting money in, and
Yeah.
like I said, it all adds up. And
Yeah, it
once it gets
does.
a certain amount, then she's gonna give me another flyer, and we're gonna go from there. You know, Because even
Yeah.
like when you make the donation, you just let me know. Okay, I'm sending it in today. I will call her, and then she'll be looking for it. Because the people, when it come to Crime Stoppers, they send it over to her, and then she puts it in underneath his account.
Okay.
And I let her know the person name, and I say, "Do you see this donation?" I say because it's
Okay.
coming in, and then
Okay.
but she's the one that actually puts it into his account. But the Crime Stoppers send it to her as long as his name is in that little box, and they even know justice for Gregory Stewart, or please make this donation justice for Gregory Stewart, or Gregory
Make
Stewart
sure.
fund account, and
Right.
she makes sure it gets in there. And then I double check with her, and then they'll send you an email as well, to your
Like
email,
okay, good. Good.
thanking you
Good.
for the donation.
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, I need that because I want to be able to show everybody here that that's been done too on that side because a lot of people be playing and scheming out here.
But
Yeah,
I don't
just
think that they put the actual amount on there. But when they send the email, it just say thank you for your donation. Crime Stoppers.
I'll figure it out.
Gregory. It
I'll
says something
screen.
about Gregory Stewart, but you will see it. It'll come back from them. That's how they send it back. But like I say, I just reinforce and communicate with her, and then I say, okay, blah 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 person is sending in a donation for my son. I'm just letting you know, or do you see it yet? And then she'll say, okay, I
Mhm.
got it. I already put it in.
And then she
And
updates the flyer. That one.
well, she's not gonna update it every time, but I say, maybe I think when we get like 10,000, maybe
Gotcha.
she'll update it whenever I want her to update it.
Increments.
But
Gotcha.
and then as it then keep increasing, I'll change it maybe like every $5,000.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's the flyer you just showed us that you're talking about?
This is one of the flyers, but this one doesn't. This is just telling you where he was murdered and stuff.
You don't
Another
have the reward
organization
on it.
created that for me. This is his Crime Stopper flyer, but I don't really use this one too much anymore. Let's see, trying to get it in there. That glare.
That's okay. I can see it. Yeah.
So this is his Crime Stoppers.
Okay.
But like I say, I don't too much because this one this is laminated and I guess by it being white, when I put it on the poles in the rain, it messes up so fast. It messes up in like less than a week.
Mm.
If it rain, I have to go and change them out again. But
Oh
with the
no.
red one, and an organization called Unite made that for me. But it has the Crime Stoppers number and stuff on it, and where he was murdered and the day and all. But that red one, I can leave it
Mm-hmm.
up there for 6 months, and it doesn't even fade, no matter how much rain hits it.
Yeah,
So
that looked like they put some real good lamination on that one.
no, I laminated. I bought me a
Oh, you
lamination
did.
machine, and I
Okay.
order my flyers from like Office Max, and
Okay.
then I'll come and I'll laminate them, you know, and then we go out and we start posting them up. And the ones that I just put in people windshields or put in the stores, I just hand out. I don't laminate those.
How do I get a copy of the flyer? Is it in the group? Like something we can post in our
I have it.
YouTube
It's all over my
page
page.
on
Yeah,
the
it's
Gregory
all.
Four or yours?
If you go on my page,
Your page.
you can
Okay.
go on Gregory the number 4 Stewart, or you can go on my page, and then you can go
Okay.
in my albums, and you will see it. It say Gregory's in my photos. My album is has something like Gregory after life, you know, photos or collections, but it's after his death, and I have a whole bunch of different like those kind of photos in there. And then I
Okay.
also have it on my page. So if you scroll down my page, you'll see it because I have that photo throughout my different posts.
Okay. Okay. I will definitely do
And
that. I'll get it.
I can just message it to you too. I can take one and message
Oh,
it to you.
perfect.
I'll have it.
Perfect.
I'll message it to you. If not tonight, then
Okay.
I'll message it to you first thing in the morning. You'll have it, and I'll send it to your messenger.
Good.
That
Then
would
we
be
can
easier.
share. Yeah.
Yeah,
And quicker
because
because we
that one,
want to get it out there. We want to put it
because
out there for you. Like,
yeah, that's a red one, and it draws a lot of attention. So I mean, that's the one that's basically all over the county. And this
mm-hmm,
flyer right here with all his faces, this one what we're looking at, it was
mm-hmm.
an advocate. His name is Joey, and I like to thank him too if he's listening. But he created this for me. I was doing my other live talk show, which is on
Trying to make
also on Justice for Gregory Stewart and throughout my page. And he took all my son pictures and he created this flyer for me, which you have right here in the background.
I'm trying to take off my big banner so we can see a little more of it. There you go. Underneath us.
He took all his pictures and he made this banner for me and put all the pictures
That's
on
really nice. I like
it.
this one a lot.
And I've never met him. He helped me to create and make my son a public figure on Justice for that number 4, Gregory Stewart. He made him a
Mm-hmm.
public figure. I
Nice.
put him in my as an admin, and he helped me to critique and fix my other Justice for Gregory Stewart page. And he did a lot of stuff for me. He never
That's
even
awesome.
met me. So I just say I thank God for bringing everybody into my life.
That's right. You never know the people you come
Mhm.
across, and the more you network, and the more his story gets out there, the more that's gonna happen. But you just you you are just incredible. So it's not like you won't work it out anyway, but you definitely will just get more help,
Mhm.
just more because people are
And
already.
I appreciate everything. But my biggest thing now, for real, because I feel like, and I tell everybody, I say, okay, now I got to start focusing on the legal part with this hospital and stuff. And I feel it's a lawyer
Right.
gonna take it. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
reach out. I got those 2 lawyers. I'm gonna reach out to probably tomorrow, since the groundwork has already been broken for me. But if they hear from me, and then
Yeah.
I, my main thing, I feel like get his reward up. You know,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
And I am a tax preparer. I do taxes as well. So tax time is coming up. I'm licensed and
Mm,
everything. I got my own EFIN number and everything, P10 identification number and everything.
okay.
And The name of my business is Stewart Professional Tax Services. And,
Okay, good. Let's make sure
you
we
know,
know
this
that.
year, if I was thinking last year, I would have got asked each of my clients, because they all know me personally. I've been doing the taxes for about at least 6 years. And they know
Mm-hmm.
what happened to my son, but I wasn't thinking. On top of my money, I would have said, could y'all just give me a little small something? And I would have took all that money and put it right in his fund. So, that's
Right.
what I plan on doing this year too, if his case is not solved already.
How do
You know,
you, not how, but well, do you feel like they really going, how close do you feel they are? I mean, how close do you feel like, since you know the kind of beat of the city, and the people around, does anybody feel like they're getting ready to talk, or kind of want to, do they look like they want to say something when you putting up flyers, or you know what I mean? Anything like that, or is it really
I
just
mean, people they come and talk. People come and talk. People come and talk to us every time they see us. So I mean, strange people. We don't know these people. I had a man tell me the other day. He said, "I'm not tell you who I am. I just want to tell you something." I said, "Okay, that's fine. I don't want to know who you are. Just tell me."
wow.
And I mean, people that come over to the memorial, people pull up to the memorial, they start talking to us and stuff. That helps. So and then me, I'm about, like I say, I praying on God. I walk up to the men's, all of them under their little tree and stuff, and I start talking and handing my flyers and talk about my son and trying to get them into their feelings so that they can see, okay, y'all grandfathers, y'all are fathers. Come on, man. Come on, help me. Y'all are the big people in this neighborhood. Y'all know who did this to my son. Help me.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Oh,
you know, we get out there, me and my family. And, that's why I say, sometimes it's been rough, it's been unsafe. But I mean,
yeah.
I pray and take God with me and keep on pushing and continue doing what I'm doing. And I really feel in my heart, and I know we're closer. Thanks to our hard work and thanks to the detectives' hard work. And I'm hoping and praying that they be knocking on my door at least by the beginning of the year and say, Miss Stewart, we got the arrest warrants.
Did you tell me, not
So
me, but did I hear you say, did I hear you mention anything about a private investigator, or no?
yeah, I was thinking about getting a private investigator, but then some people I suggested and told my detective too was going to get one because my the private investigator, they can investigate all these people individually too. But it's
Right.
like I reached out to a couple of them, but the few in this area that I did reach out to, they don't handle murder cases. So
Mm,
but I'm gonna still continue seeking a private
yeah.
investigator, because I say it shouldn't even cost me no more than about $1,500, $2,000 to retain one.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't gonna cost that
Mm-hmm.
much money altogether, maybe,
It'd be worth it with
and they
everything
should,
else you've done. Yeah.
yeah, it'll be worth it to, you know,
Yeah. Because
to
they're good.
and they,
Some of these guys,
yeah,
man, they find
they
out stuff.
hmm But the main
Yeah.
thing, if you get a private investigator, they have to work directly with detectives. I found out, and they have to make sure that they don't get anything illegal. It has to be directly by the book, otherwise they can't use it in court.
Right, 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 right. Do it right. Yeah.
hmm
You definitely don't want nobody out there messing up the investigation. That goes against the
Yeah.
whole process. No,
hmm
defeats the purpose. I thought I heard, maybe I read it somewhere or heard it somewhere. I already kept you past my time that I asked you for, um, but I'm not rushing you, not at all. Did you want me to ask any other questions from the chat, or are you ready to go?
Um, I mean, if they have any other questions, you can ask them. I mean,
Only what you're comfortable with. I'll run through them real quick
I
then
mean, I'm
before.
comfortable, and if it's just something that I can't answer due to the investigation, then I'll say that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. We definitely don't want to hinder anybody's investigation. We don't play that over here.
Yeah.
Not even cool. Okay, let me see, you guys. I'm scanning. Oh, I know I saw one that was actually a good question. Not that there's bad questions, y'all. uh, his cell phone, your son's cell phone, did they not? Uh, was there? Well, here now I just answered that for myself because there would be nothing really tied in his cell phone because he didn't have anything to do with it. He was just called there to hang out, but I guess they could determine what his friends said to him to get him
But
there.
they got everybody's, well, not everybody, but they got at least his, and they got two of my son's cell phones right now. We still don't
Mm,
have them. We don't have any of my son's stuff. We don't have my son's car. It's a year and a half almost, and they still have my son's car in the evidence room
wow.
because when we was to the hospital, my other son was about, I don't know, I don't remember what I said that night, but anyhow, I said something about, oh, I'm about to get my son car or something. I said something about the car, and then the police came over there and stuff, but it was a bullet hole in the back of the window, so they took the car for evidence, and they haven't given us anything out the car or anything, so they still have the car as a piece of evidence,
Wow.
and whatever they're looking at with dealing with the car, I don't know, you
Nothing.
know,
They didn't even tell you.
but they wouldn't give us any like nothing, you know.
Well, is that something that they would tell your detective and then he would have to tell you, or they're not telling him?
One
Or
thing about the detectives, you sort of have to read between the lines with them because they can't tell us so much about the case.
they still can't tell you either.
They can't
Wow.
tell me. It's a lot of things I won't know until we go to court.
Wow. That's horrible.
Hmm.
But they still got the car and interesting.
Yeah, my son' personal belongings, and yeah.
I wonder if
They got
we'll
two
keep.
because one phone I have it, and and I say, hey, so they say, well, can we get that? I say, sure. So they, I guess they do the phone things where they check the
Yeah.
phones and check the people's phone and stuff. I don't.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
do. Yeah, they do. Skylar said,
But they,
"Y'all,
but
we
they,
have so many unsolved murders. That's terrible."
but like I said, they won't tell me anything about that information, whatever they're looking at or looking for, whatever, until we get ready to go to court.
But they
But
do
I can only
horrible.
assume it was not enough in the my son phone for nobody to be arrested. That's what
Right.
I'm assuming because ain't nobody in
Yeah.
custody.
Yeah. Yeah. I know they. Yeah, if they had some kind of slam. Excuse me. My God. Slam dunk evidence out the phone, you would think somebody would be arrested. Why are there so many unsolved murders down there though? Are people just really they really waiting on those statements from everybody, or they all don't have a good detective like you, or what's going on?
I
Or is
don't
it just
know. It's the prosecutor office, if you ask me. They not prosecuting. They just not prosecuting, and they making the detectives in the East St. Louis police job harder. The people they come with information and stuff, but I feel like it's the prosecutors. They don't want to prosecute, and they just make their job so hard. It's like they're geared more toward criminals than they are the victims and their families.
and that
And it
goes all the
is.
way
It's a lot. Because see, in 2020, when my son got killed, I would say it was probably at least about maybe, like I said, it's a small little community, 89 blocks, and it maybe was about 30 to 40 murders. And out of those, only maybe five was solved. And that was in 2020, you
oh
know.
my God, that's crazy.
And it is. And I'm like, okay, yeah, they're not on top of the murders. They're not, it's not. And it's like every day somebody's getting killed and it's nothing happening. And it makes the criminals feel like, oh, we can just do this. There's nothing going to happen to us, you know.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's exactly what they feel like. And then they keep doing what they do.
And that's why I was telling a lady today. I said, we need to get together, especially us that lost our loved ones, and we need to go up there and we need to protest peacefully on the steps of that courthouse and get our voices heard. Because
At
it
least.
is some people whose children and family members were murdered, and they tell them it's cold case. It's some people they tell them they know who did it. Okay, then there's some people they still, it's just, but it's still no arrest being made. And I mean, it's just ridiculous
Yeah, that
because for
is.
real, all of our children lives matters and our lives matter. And I
Yeah.
remember when I was calling up there, they made me feel like, in their opinion, my child life didn't matter. And who's Gregory Stewart? And I had to let them know in a nice way because I try to be professional, no matter how
Yeah.
angry I get or whatever. But believe me, I done ran up against a lot of brick walls. But I stay in my grounds in a nice, peaceful way. And no, I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm just going to continue going on and fighting and stuff. Because, like I said, my son life matter, and the rest of the people lives matter all over the world, but especially down here in our area. But like I say,
Right.
we don't have the leader support. So when you don't have that, it
Yeah.
makes it harder.
Yeah. It
We need
does.
somebody in the office in the seat that's going to care and really
Right.
want to clean up East St. Louis and say enough is
Yeah,
enough and let's stop this senseless violence. We're losing our future generations. Because if they're
Right.
not dying, they go into prison.
Right. Yep. That's true. It is.
And like I say, myself and the other mothers and fathers, you know, it's a sadness and it's like in another whole world, and people really can't understand it unless they really been through it, you know. They
Yeah.
don't know,
I believe
They
that.
can say I feel bad for you or whatever, but they don't know really
Yeah.
how you feel. And sometimes I just want to scream. Sometimes I just want to, who you don't know some of the things I went through my brain to do, but I know
Mhm.
that's not the right thing to do.
I told
And
you I wasn't even mixing words when I tell you. You notice I haven't told you that any of those cliche words. It'll be all right. Any of that because, like I said, I literally can't imagine. I can't imagine. I can't imagine so much that I can't even find words to say to you. You know what I mean? Like there are no words.
and it's
There
hard.
can't be
Sometimes
words.
I'll be in my house. I'll be wanting to see my son. I'll be wanting to see him like his vision, walk down the hall or something, but I
Right.
don't. My son probably
Mhm.
came to me about 3 times in a dream since he's been gone. But one time my son said, Mama, it's okay. But it's like when I'm talking, I talk to my son all the time in my house. And my son, I talk out loud to him and he, like I hear him answer me, but it's in my brain, you know. And it's like my son be right here with me. I never put him in the past. I keep him right here with us.
Right.
I know where he's at. I know he's resting. I know where he's at. But I still keep my son. When I talk about all three of my kids. I don't talk about just the other two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Yeah. He's
you
still
know,
your son.
I keep his name going. Like I say, he's sort of living from the grave through me and my
Right.
family.
Right. Right. Absolutely is. Y'all ain't letting him go. I
He was
love
my baby. He was my
it.
baby. He was my spoiled little brat.
Mhm.
you know, I made a joke. I said, and it's good that I can find a little sense of humor sometimes.
Yes, it is.
But when me and my husband, because of the COVID, and the COVID is bad down in Georgia, and we was planning to go
Mhm.
home for September, and we say, no, we're not going because the COVID bad. So I told my son, I said, baby, we're not coming down there. I'm not gonna see you in September. I'm gonna see you though about November or January. I'll be down there to see you.
Mhm.
And I say, not to be funny, but then my sister died in
Mhm.
September, about 3 weeks ago. So I was like, this little boy, he's running me from the grave. He's showing me you're coming to see me. And I say that to make like a joke that I could get a
Right.
little, and I feel good that I could do that
Yeah.
sometime now. And then when
Yeah.
I went to see him the same day I made the video and I was like, nah, Hakeem, you little spoiled little brat. You always running
Mhm.
mama. But you can't run
Mhm.
me. You're not running me. I won't see you no more until January. I say, see you
Mhm.
then. I say, I love you. I'll see you. And I thank my mama and my family down there. They keep his grave immaculate for us. They keep everything up. They check on his grave every day. Somebody go out there and they keep everything up. Make sure everything is just perfect.
That's
You know.
awesome.
And I love my family for that, and love them for doing it for us. Until we can
Yeah.
get back down there.
You guys used to joke around a lot, it seemed
Yeah,
like.
me and my
Mm,
son, child, that boy, he probably don't come jump in the bed. Hey, mama, this is bothering me playing. He was very playful, and I miss my son so much. I miss
mm,
when I used to have to be to work 4 or 5 in the morning. My son, I talked to him, because he'd be up. He was like a night owl, so he would be
yeah,
up, and he
yeah.
talked to me till I get to work or whatever. But he always, I saw him every day.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
What did y'all talk about? That you said you talked to him 30 minutes before. Remind me what you said. What he said.
It was just, I was having my Bible study. When my Bible study was over, then he called and he said, Mama, he said, I'm not going to come by tonight. And I said, well, okay, because I was tired. And I didn't want him, normally he'll tap on my room window and he'll wake me up
Mm-hmm.
out of my sleep. But I was tired. I didn't want to get up. So I said, well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you called me. I say, because I'm tired. I'm about to go to bed. I said, I didn't see you. It was maybe about 20 minutes after my meeting was over. And then, so I said, because I was giving my sons money and stuff, whatever they need, I'm there for them. So,
Mm-hmm.
anyhow, that particular night, I had some money and I put it in the envelope. So he said, Mama, just leave it in the mailbox. He said, I'm not going to wake you up. He said, I love you. And I said, okay. He said, I'm going to his studio, not his studio, but the guy that do his videos. The guy
Mm-hmm.
do videos too, and he pay him. But he do his own videos too. But this guy, he do a higher grade of videos. And he
Right.
live around the corner from us. So he said, I'm going by there and I'm going to come by the house. Just put it in the mailbox. I said, okay. And then I said, okay. I said, well, I love you. I said, well, I will see you tomorrow. He said, okay, Mama, I'll see you tomorrow too. And then that was it.
As long as you got everything off of your chest, because this was for you. This is for Gregory. We're going to just share it out, and I will reach out to you tomorrow the same way we always communicate and let you know once I make the donation. And it was $65 that came in from the super chats. I know
And,
some
and
people
I
were worried
and I
about. Oh, go
and I
ahead.
thank everyone for everything. And again, I thank you for taking an interest in helping us to share my son's story and helping
Absolutely.
us to get it out.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And I'm going to keep, just like I've been going over there, finding your little videos and bringing them on back over here. Because the more I share it in this community, the more they know your story, the more they'll share your story and take an interest. So that's why I do that. But we'll be in touch for sure. So kiss those grandbabies. And
I real they in there getting active up and it's past their bedtime.
I understand. Go ahead, sweetheart. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank your sister for coming on. Tell her she was amazing. We appreciate all those good, powerful words. And I'll talk
Yeah,
to you
she's
soon.
she's my shiro, as she say, and she keeps me going, and she's right there for me, along with the rest of my family members.
I'm so glad you got all them because I know this is hard.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that much for sure. When you get a chance, I suggest reading the chat because there is some good questions and some
yeah.
good suggestions, and there's a lot of love for you in there too. So, all right.
Okay, and just ask everybody to continue sharing and sharing my stories and stuff. And if they want to join my son page and stuff, that would help us as well.
For
Just getting it
sure.
out.
Yep,
And I
we will.
greatly
We all
appreciate
will.
I appreciate everyone's support and prayers as we continue down this journey, advocating and seeking justice for our son, Gregory Stewart.
Thank you, Latasha. Prayers to your family, and we'll talk to you
Okay,
soon.
okay, and thank you so much,
You are
Kiana.
most welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you.
My
Okay,
pleasure,
thank
honestly.
you.
You're welcome. You
Okay,
have a good night.
okay, y'all too. Thank you. Thank everyone, and everyone have a blessed night.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh,
How y'all feeling out there? Everybody okay? Everybody breathe. I just took my deep breath. You just hate to see somebody in pain like that. And she don't even know how strong she is. I can't even imagine how dark the dark nights get, though, when it does hit. But she puts on that brave face, and she is pushing for justice for her son. And that's what we have been here for, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to thank everybody who contributed to Latasha Stewart and for Gregory Stewart's Crime Stoppers Reward. Hopefully somebody will feel compelled for the right dollar amount, since they're too weak to come forward on their own accord. As far as the 30% that not everybody, but some people were discussing in chat. Kara, there you are. I'm going to take care of that. She's going to get $65. She's going to get exactly what was given to her. So that's no problem. Anybody that donated, YouTube sucks for that 30%. That's just a big chunk, but whatever. No, I'm not going to let her eat that. So awesome, John Q. Thank you so much. That's what I want. That's all I can do. Just get the word out. Just spread that awareness. Thank you, John. We can always count on our John Q, y'all. I love it. So many more eyes that can see that story. Because we got to get that reach into East St. Louis. I mean, maybe not. Maybe somebody that lived there then, maybe they live in Orlando now, or Texas now, or freaking California now, New York now, and they see the video. But I just kind of feel like that little community I really wish there was a way to specifically put pressure on that community. But right now, as long as his name is everywhere, then I guess we can't miss a spot, right? John, yes, whenever you're ready, we'll talk about that. And I know she'll be ready when we're ready, because we already talked about her schedule in depth. I mean, I don't even know, it's one of those things where you want to, I saw the rage in chat. I think it was Lady R. I saw the rage. You want to do something. You want to do something. You can't do nothing. Can't do nothing, y'all. But you can. Everybody in here. If everybody in here just hit that share button one time, you can do something. Everybody that heard this video, everybody that ends up watching this video, just hits that share button one time. We just might reach the right person, y'all. That's all I'm saying. We got to try, because it's all we can do. In most of these cases, it's all we can do is just put the word out. Spread the awareness. Tell the story. We got to at least do that, if it's all we can do. So, I have a Facebook group that I opened just as another outlet honestly, for sharing the stories that I created. And then when I did it, it was like, well, I'll make it public. So if anybody else has a story they want to share, creators or Facebookers, whoever, anybody wanted to share a story, about someone missing or wronged or murdered, they could do that. So I made it a public group. And that's where Latasha came from. She joined the group and she popped a video in there. I watched the video and I reached out to her and I told her, it just so happens I can help you share your story. And that is how we ended up here today. That was probably about, oh man, I hope I'm not lying. I want to say about a month ago. Because y'all know there's always a lot going on. And I don't live by an agenda, but I kind of have a list of things I want to accomplish and stories I want to tell. And I have to kind of stick to that to get things done. And then, of course, with new lives being lost in the interim of all of that, it took that time just to make sure that it was done right. And I enjoyed my conversation tonight with Miss Latasha. I know y'all been dropping these links. I know you have. But just to make sure I'm clear, there was 2 Facebook groups, right? Gregory and the number 4 Stewart. I know about that one. That's the one I think I use the most. And then Gregory, Justice for Gregory, FOR Gregory was the other one. And then we got the Crime Stoppers. What else we got? If there's any creators that are here or have that come through here and hear this video, Latasha Blackman Stewart, she is open and available to tell her story. She wants to tell her story and get it out there. And you can reach out to her through those groups. John, I will definitely let her know when you schedule us in for table talk. Let's see if I can show my background again. And my big old face all over the whole screen. Sorry, y'all, I can't. I thought I could make myself smaller somehow. Okay, forget it. So that went well, and I want to thank y'all. Especially everybody, not especially, but everyone who donated, let's say like a double thank you. How about that? Because money talks, especially to crooked ass criminals, spineless weasels. I'm just saying, if you know something, you know it. If all of a sudden, if the reward hits 10,000 and, I remember, then, you're full of shit. You're a weasel. So those are the people I'm talking about. That would sit around and actually wait for money to add up, knowing you could bring somebody peace. But I know you exist. So I'll make the deposit tomorrow. What can we do? Her sister was awesome too. Very strong. Both of them very strong women. Very smart. You could tell. They don't want to cause no problems. They're talking about fixing the problem, the whole problem from the inside out. That's what I was just saying, asking Scott H the other night. I'm like, but how? It's like, how could we fix it all? How do we get the lumps out of the damn rug? One life at a time. So, with that said, I will shift gears a little bit. I can't change the name of the live, so I can't like get all into anything brand new, or it'll be, I believe disrespectful to the title, and I will not do that. So we can chat a little bit. I can share more of Latasha's story with you. And then if y'all really want to talk or something, I can just start another live. But for now, how y'all doing? Stop it, Lady R. Girl, you make me blush. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm just me, girl. Doing all I can do in this little world. Thank you, Marley13. Thank you so much. You just never know. And her story might touch somebody, Somebody might be able to relate. Somebody might just need to hear that you can make it through something like this in the first place, let alone fight the good fight, just that you can survive it. It's only been just over a year, y'all. Listen, take a cookie in your hand and crumble it up as much as you can. That would be cute. If something happened to my baby. I can't even think about it without damn near getting emotional. I'm not kidding. I empathize hard. And I don't ever want to know what it feels like. I don't ever want to be able to say. And I know this might even be selfish. I never want to be able to say, I understand. I said I was going to shift gears. And I said I made it through without crying. Y'all not going to do this. If I made it through Latasha, y'all not going to get me going. Let us, you and I, me and you together, all of us, before I get worked up over here. Let me find my prayer. Well, I added a lot of stuff here. Yeah, this is what we need. Almighty God, you are the only source of health and healing. In you there is calm and the only true peace in the universe. Grant to each one of us, your children, an awareness of your presence, and give us perfect confidence in you. In all pain and weariness and anxiety, teach us to yield ourselves to your never-failing care, knowing that your love and power surrounds us, trusting in your wisdom and providence to give us health and strength and peace when your time is best. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Prayers to all the sick and shut in.
My son, he was murdered May the 29th of 2020 in East St. Louis, Illinois, at 2408 Bond Street. I'm still out here advocating and seeking justice for my son. I am his voice, and I will continue to fight and advocate until we receive justice, answers, and closure for our family. Like I said, I'm out here visiting my son's grave. We've done everything humanly possible within our bonds to try to obtain justice for my son, Gregory Stewart. Again, anyone with any information, please come forward. Come forward with information leading to the arrest of the people that's responsible for murdering my son. This is a horrible pain and an ordeal, and no parent or family member should have to go through this. Please, all we're doing is asking, please come forward with information leading to the rest of our baby. We know that there's people out there that knows who's responsible for murdering our son. All we need is for you to contact the Crime Stoppers at 1-866-371-84. Or the Illinois State Police. It's a reward being offered. It's being increased as I speak right now. Also, you can remain anonymous. Please, we need statements. We need statements. We need written statements. We need written statements or oral statements to be given to the detectives so that these people can be arrested and held accountable for what they did to our son. Please. It's going on almost a year and a half now, and these perpetrators, they're still free. Walking the streets of East St. Louis, running and hiding. I mean, this is a horrible feeling. Imagine if he were your loved one. Imagine if this were your son, or your grandson, or your brother. And if you're a real friend, come forward with the truth. Come forward with the truth and tell on these people. Stop, because my son murders on the people that know hands as well as is on the person that pulled the trigger. The people that's protecting these murderers, they might as well, they're just as guilty. And God is going to punish them for murdering my son. This is some of his music, Lil Georgia GMF, that I'm playing in the background as I'm out here visiting my son. Again, like I say, anyone with information, we know it's people out here with information. We've done everything humanly possible we've done everything humanly possible trying to obtain justice. And I'm just praying that everything that we do, eventually the right person is going to hear it, and they're going to use their spiritual conscience and do the right thing and come forward and give us justice. All we need is for you to just contact the Illinois State Police or the Crime Stoppers. Come on, step up, do the right thing. We need to stop all this senseless killing and stuff. Let's put these people where they belong, which they need to be punished, and they need to be to the maximum possible extent of the law. Please, like I say, help our family. Hi, Crystal and Ariana, my granddaughter, and her mother. Ariana, this is your dad. I see you watching. This is your dad. He loves you. And we miss him so much. So much. Please, anyone with information, come forward. Contact the Illinois State Police with information. Please. Please.
Hello,
you know, like I said, this is a heartache and a pain. And we know that people down there's plenty of them in East St. Louis. Y'all know what happened to my baby. Especially the person that called my son out there. And those people that were out there, y'all know who did this to my son? Please do the right thing and come forward. And anyone else with information that someone probably done told y'all, whether you're a girlfriend, a brother, a family member, or whatever, please come forward with the truth. Please help our family to obtain justice and closure so that we can start our healing process. This is the after effect when people, they decide to pull a trigger and murder people. You know, and like I said, my son, he was an innocent bystander. They killed my son, and then they don't even have the guts and knew that that was not the person they were shooting at to come forward and turn themselves in. But I know that even if you're not brought to justice in this system, believe me, you can't run from what God has in store for you. Because at Judgment Day, you will be judged and punished by Jehovah. So you ain't got away with killing my son. And like I said, the people that know who did it and what happened, please, we begging, come on forward and tell the truth. Imagine if it were you or your family member. You know, I mean, this is very hurtful. And we keep on praying and asking and seeking justice and doing everything, because I'm going to keep my son's story alive and out on the spotlight, because I believe and I know that there's people out there that knows what happened to my son. I know this. I know this. And the truth will be revealed soon. I know. Because Jehovah's going to give us justice. And he's going to help us. And he's going to give us justice for our son. Hello, like God say, vengeance is his. And those people responsible for killing my son, y'all will be brought to justice. You will be brought to justice. So again, please, anyone with information within the St. Louis or the East St. Louis, St. Clair County area, come forward with information. Come on and tell the truth. Step on up. Like I say, you know, if this were your family member, you will want answers and justice, and you want these people held accountable. That's the worst pain of not having anyone in custody. And that's all I want. It's my day to be able to see these people face to face and see them punished for what they did to our family, and be able to let them know what they did and what they caused, the pain they caused our family. So please, do the right thing. Step up. Come on, please, and tell the truth. Help our family to get justice. Okay, baby, we love you. And we will see you in paradise. We know you just resting. And we just buried your Auntie Sean today. So y'all are all together with your granddaddy. And we know you're resting until we meet again. Until God reunite us in paradise. We thank everyone for their prayers, their support that y'all give our family during this horrific time of our lives. We thank everyone for everything. Please continue praying for us and keeping us in your prayers, and praying for us to receive justice, answers, and closure. Because God is working on it. It's happening. It's happening slowly but surely, and it is going to happen. Everyone have a blessed day. Thank you all.
And that is Gregory Stewart's story. Thank you again, Miss Latasha Blackman Stewart. And Deanie. I hope I'm saying it right. I know I thought I had it. I believe it was Deanie, y'all. Am I saying it right? Her sister, her beautiful sister. Thank you guys for coming on and sharing his story. We will uplift his name and we will share his story. We absolutely promise. Can I please get some red emojis in the chat? Red and black. Those are his colors. And I know he's looking down on his mother saying, there she go again. That's right. She did it again. She told your story. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you in the other room. Justice for Gregory Stewart.